A new PDS severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
Hello. How is it going, everyone? Can you hear me? Or did I do the funny and forget to unmute my mic? It looks like my mic's working, but that does not mean that my mic is working 100%. So let me know if you guys can hear me when you guys finally catch up to real time. Unfortunately, YouTube does have stream delay, and there's nothing we can do about that. But we are here today. We have Caleb Beachman, or I probably pronounced that wrong again, but oh well. He's here from the Weather House in Kentucky in the Ryan Hall headquarters. You can see him there right above me with all the funny, silly screens. That is, in fact, the Weather House. And then we have Ryan Scholl out chasing in Texas. And this event is already well underway. We were a little late getting here today just because I had to do real life stuff and we had school today. So I got back from class about... It started. We are already seeing destructive severe thunderstorm warnings, one of which is about to move into Lubbock, Texas. Now, the main threat today is damaging winds and hail, and we can see here with this destructive severe thunderstorm warning, this is because of the large hail. This storm has hail up to 3 inches in diameter, and that's big. For those of you who don't know how big that is, you don't want to find out, so you should probably avoid those. Right here we have Ryan Scholl. He's out here closer to this storm here near Paducah. I believe he's attempting to see tornadoes today. There's not a high there's not a high probability of tornadoes, but a chance is a chance. And in fact, we have a large 2% risk, which you guys can see right here. That's that green line. Anywhere inside that, you guys are in a 2% chance for tornadoes. But the main threat today, that is going to be damaging winds and hail. We have a 30 sig for both. That is an enhanced risk. And the last thing you want to do is get hit in the face by a baseball traveling at 80 miles an hour. That would not be a good time. All right, so it looks like Ryan Scholl's feed is buffering a little bit here, but we are going to see if we can get an update from him. It looks like he is not in cell service, unfortunately. So we will give that another second before talking to him. But once again, he is right here. Also, we have a couple other storm chasers who are out there today. We do not have their feeds at this time, but we have Hunter Hurley and Max Archer who are both on the ground providing live updates to us. What about you guys? Where are you? Are you in the risk? Where are you guys tuning in from? Do we have anyone from Texas? And if you are in Texas, what is your plans for the rest of today as we have to deal with this severe weather? Looks like we just got Caleb back here. Caleb, you want to go ahead and say hi so we can make sure that they can hear you? We'll give him a second as well. Virginia. Virginia is not in a severe risk, fortunate enough. But hey, we love all of our... Ooh, we had another screen blip there. I don't know why we have these random screen flashes, but we keep having them. It's all part of technology, and we love technology.
Yeah, sorry, I'm a little delayed from you, Riley, because you're muted in Discord. So if you want to unmute there, but how's it going, guys? Welcome into the stream. It's glad to be back 2 days in a row now. So let's see what we see. Maybe there'll be some tornadoes today, but definitely we're going to see some hail and maybe a few windshields blown out live on stream. So
yeah,
we'll see how that goes.
We always love seeing windshields get blown to pieces. Now, we don't love replacing windshields because, of course, that is expensive. But it is fun to blow out your windshield. And I'm sure Caleb knows that firsthand. Of course, he is a storm chaser at heart, and he has gone through countless windshields. Caleb, how many windshields have you gone through in your time as a storm chaser?
Total, I think about 6, but I think just this year, probably 4 of them. I think 4 of them alone were this year, so.
That is a decent amount of windshields to go through.
Indeed.
All right, so it looks like Ryan Scholl is back in cell service, so we're going to attempt to give him another shout. Hey Ryan, we are live on YouTube. We are just wondering what you are doing today. Are you just trying to blow out your windshield, or are you going to perhaps see a brief tornado? What's your plan? Once again, guys, while we're waiting for him to respond, Ryan Scholl's location is right here on radar. He is this blue circle.
All right, so I think the tornado threat's pretty much over, but there is still that threat for very large hail, and I am on the storm here that is southwest of Crowell, Texas, and we are going to keep following it southeast as long as we need to.
Well, you heard him there. It seems like the tornado threat is almost over, which is a little bit sad because we love to see tornadoes, especially in Texas when they don't impact everyone or anyone. Those are the only kind of tornadoes we like. Hopefully, Ryan gets into a little bit better cell service here and we can get a clearer picture of what's going on the ground. But he is right here, and you can see we have the black in this storm, and what that means is high reflectivity values, and that means there's going to be a lot of hail. And in fact, we are not really looking at tornadoes today like Ryan mentioned. So down here, we have 2 different things in which you may normally see on a stream. Normally down here, we'd have information to see where is a tornado, is the tornado on the ground, but instead today we have echo tops and maximum expected hail size. So over here on the left we have echo tops, and what this is it's basically a measurement of how tall the storms are. So the radar will tell us, hey, this storm is 20,000 feet tall, this storm's 30,000 feet tall, and right here the storm that Ryan Scholl is targeting is upwards of 60 or 50,000 feet tall. So what that means is there is a lot of water being pulled high up into the sky, and when this happens, it freezes, and then it falls back to the ground as hail. Speaking of hail, coming over to the other side here, this is our maximum expected hail size. This is normally a little bit off. It likes to be heavily dramatic on how big the hail is, but there is radar indicated 3-inch hail on this storm that Ryan is targeting, so that's definitely something we want to keep a lookout for. And if you guys are wondering, or if you guys aren't familiar with radar products and you want to look at these without me talking about them and get your own opinions from it, right here we have what's called a, or I guess it's just a chart, and then the colors here represent a different size in hail. So anything that's yellow, orange, pink, or gray is at least 1 inch in diameter. Orange is 1 to 2 inches in diameter, pink is 2 to 3, and anything bigger than 3 will be gray or white. So you guys can keep an eye on that in the bottom right-hand corner. Alright, so it looks like Ryan has his stream, or he's finally gotten cell service. So let's go ahead and take a look at what he's seeing there. And you can see there is a lot of cloud cover in front of these storms, which will unfortunately inhibit the potential for tornadoes, but there's still going to be hail. And you can also see that he's in the middle of nowhere. He's in a wind farm. It's perfectly flat, and hopefully this hail will not impact anyone. Coming back to radar here, let's just go take a zoom out further. Let's go check on this destructive severe thunderstorm coming into Lubbock. It looks like, unfortunately, this is still concerning, although it does look like the hail size is starting to shrink just a little bit. So hopefully we will see that sort of dissipate and weaken before it enters Lubbock, because it would not be a fun time if we saw a strong hailstorm in Lubbock. Down here a little further to the south, we have another cluster of hailers. That's going to be the main theme for today. We have just a lot of hail. And then down here further south, yet another cluster of even more hailstorms. If you guys haven't gotten the gist of it, there's going to be a lot of hail today. And that's the main threat, and that's what the SPC said with that 30% hatched risk. I see you changed the title yesterday. Yeah, once we're not live, we like to change the titles so people don't think it's a live coverage. I know you're probably like, oh, well, you know they're not live. There's actually been multiple instances of people getting confused, going back and watching past live streams thinking like, oh my god, is this happening now? And of course we don't want them to think that there is some sort of imminent threat when there is not. So it is important to change those titles so people don't get confused. Alright, as we're welcoming in more people here, please make sure to go ahead and like that like this stream so we can get more information to more people. If you guys want to help removing live chat, yeah, I think that's smart. Good idea, Frank. But yeah, if you guys want to help more people stay informed about severe weather, the best thing you can do is liking this, because that will help in the YouTube algorithm, and people who are in this area and need this information will be recommended this stream. Coming back over here to Ryan Scholl, it looks like he's getting slightly closer to this very, very large hailstorm, although it does look like it is starting to somewhat weaken. So hopefully he won't get his windshield blown out, but if he does, hey, we're here for it. And maybe we can even help him with replacing that windshield. Now, Texas is not the only area we need to be concerned with today. There is also a hail threat in Oklahoma. It is slightly weaker and the hail will be slightly smaller, but right now in Oklahoma City, we do have a hailstorm going through Oklahoma City. If you're from Oklahoma City, I'm sure you're plenty familiar with hailstorms and severe weather, as you guys are pretty much always in the wet. Oh wow, look, a 0.69 inch hail report. Now, if that's not just the nicest little thing I've ever seen. I don't know if this is like a real report or if someone is just like, huh, that's hail, let's report it is 0.69 inches. But it's funny nonetheless. Taking a look at the terminal radar, just because it's here and we might as well look at it, we can see that there is literally zero rotation in this storm as expected. So tornadoes, those aren't going to be the main threat for today. We got a lot of hail everywhere. If I lived in Texas, I would want to not live in Texas today. Coming back down here to the south, let's look at these storms. Hopefully we don't lose our radar sight here, but it looks like there is a severe thunderstorm going over Midland, Texas, which is of course where the National Weather Service is located and where we have our radar tower. So hopefully we don't have any issues there. And then another thing we need to talk about today is the flash flooding threat. These hailstorms are not moving quickly, so they're going to drop a lot of rain at one time in a very small area, and that will lead to a flash flooding threat. Also, when we see this much hail falling from these storms, there is the chance that we could see a hail flood. What that is it's almost like snow covering the road, and it's just going to make the roads almost impossible to drive on. It's even worse than snow. Imagine driving your car through through a bunch of roads covered in marbles. Yeah, that probably wouldn't go over very well. All right, looks like Ryan Scholl has a beautiful view on his stream. Let's go ahead and take a look at that on the full screen. And wow, that is some beautiful structure. And it's a wind farm, like literally a win-win. Let's go ahead and talk to Ryan here. Hey Ryan, we're looking at your stream. It looks like there's some pretty nice structure. What are you seeing in terms of hail today, or have you not seen any yet? We'll give him a second to respond here.
The only hail I've seen today is probably only quarters. But then the structure right here, you know, we have a beautiful shelf cloud in front of this line of thunderstorms. And now that we've cleared all the wind turbines, this view is all to ourselves. There's no one else out here except me.
Hey, that means he's killing it. Way to go, Ryan. Storm Chaser of the Year right here, Ryan Scholl. If you guys are not familiar with him, you should probably go over onto the good old YouTube search bar, search up his search up his channel, Storm Chaser Ryan Scholl, and subscribe to him because he almost never fails to see tornadoes when there is any decent chance of seeing one. And of course, he just kills it in general. He gets some of the best photography of just structure at all, and he's just killing it. So go support him. We have Frank in chat. Guys, we love Frank. If you guys aren't familiar with who Frank is the big, bad, scary Discord admin from Ryan's server. No, I'm kidding. He's not that scary. We love Frank, and it's always a better day when Frank is here. All right, so it does look like we just got a storm report out of Paducah, Texas, of 70-mile-per-hour winds. I do believe this is most likely a little bit delayed, but nevertheless, it is with this storm, so we can expect this storm right schmear to produce 70-mile-an-hour winds and hail most likely greater than 2 inches. Frank, am I on your bad side? How can I get on your good side when you already love me? Come on, Frank. Wow, I really, really wish I was in Texas. Take a look at that view. You know what we need to do? We need to start a petition and or a fund to get Ryan a drone so he can fly a drone up in the air and take a look at these storms even higher, because a drone is always a great tool when storm chasing. Just to the southwest of this storm, there's yet another hail or training behind it, and this one is producing hail greater than 1.5 inches, and just all these storms, the size of the hail is crazy. I wonder if I should pull up GR level 3, and let's look at how much rainfall we are seeing with these storms. Hold on here, guys, while I switch to a different radar program. Rainfall, storm total rainfall, and wow, that is a lot of rain. You can see right here near Paducah, where we still have these training hailstorms. This is a radar estimate of how much rain has fallen. There's this huge area of at least yellow, and what yellow means is they have seen greater than 1 inch. And in here, where these storms just kind of sat over for a long period of time, almost 3 hours earlier, they have already seen upwards of 5 inches in rain. And if you guys know anything, you know 1 inch, that's a lot. 2 inches, that's even more. But come on, 5 inches, that's getting hard to deal with now. That's a lot of water. Sorry if I'm a little quiet here, guys. It is a little hard to talk about hailstorms nonstop because it is the same thing over and over again. There's just rocks falling from the sky. But hey, we love sitting here and chilling, and I can't imagine anything better than spending my evening with you guys. I'm going to take a break here and go ahead and look at information I have had sent in from me from other storm chasers to see if we have any new things. It does not look like we have any storm reports from any storm chasers yet. They are all still just a little too far east of these storms to see anything interesting just yet. But you gotta wait in front of them and they catch up, and then it's fun. This is actually a pretty cool radar presentation we have going on here with our storm near Lubbock. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the warning polygon real quick so we can take a closer look at this. But we can tell that this is a strong storm because it is producing an outflow boundary. Now what this means is this is cold air from the storm being pushed away from it. So people who are way down here south of the storm and may not think that they are going to feel the impact of the storm, guess what? You probably are. You're going to have some gusty winds anywhere along this line that we see right here, and that's all has to do with this one storm way up here. Honestly, I think these hail events, they're one of the more fun events to just sit back and look at because they have just beautiful storm structure. Can you educate us on terminology? I mean, we might as well have a little learning session here because there's not really much to cover severe-wise other than these hailstorms, and you guys are going to get sick of that eventually. So if you guys have any questions on weather whatsoever, go ahead and put those in chat, and I will do my best to answer all of them. And they don't even have to just be about severe weather. They can be hurricanes, they can be snow, because, hey, we love all kinds of weather here. Looks like Ryan Shoal's storm just lost the considerable severe tag, so it is most likely producing smaller hail now, but it's still hail nonetheless. I'm going to go ahead and pull up my tweet deck here so I can keep you guys informed if we see any updates from the Storm Prediction Center, the Weather Prediction Center, or the National Weather Service. And other than a couple flash flood warnings being issued here and there, and obviously a ton of severe thunderstorm warnings, there's not much going on. What about space weather? I'm gonna be honest, I'm really not good at forecasting space weather. The only thing I do space weather wise is look at the spaceweather.com website and look at the KP index, and if there's northern lights, I will go outside and look at them. And every time, you know, if you've looked at northern lights, every time you try and see them, it's cold outside. It is impossible to see northern lights on a 70 degree or like an 80 degree nice night with a breeze. It's not impossible, but it's pretty much impossible. Where are you originally from? I'm originally from southern Minnesota. You could probably hear a little bit of weirdness in the way I like to pronounce some words, but that's because I'm from the Midwest and I pronounce words correctly, while the rest of you guys like to pronounce things incorrectly. Give you snow out here in Utah. Hey, I think there's actually already been some snow in Utah. Of course, it's been mostly confined to the higher elevations and not much on the lower levels, but snow. If you want to see snow in Utah, just drive up a mountain. I wonder if the GFS has done anything funny and we can see any sort of snow on the models. Should we take a look at that? Someone brought up snow, so now we're going to get distracted with snow. We love snow. That's why we always take time to look at it. Phew, gotta remember where to see snow. I haven't used this program for snow at all. This is Weatherbell, if you guys are wondering. Winter. Oh, we're getting closer. We're getting hotter. Total snow accumulation in inches. We can see that there is, in fact, a small area of snow already tonight in Wyoming. It's happening, guys. We are getting closer to the snow season. We're just going to drag this all the way out. Oh, why, look at that. There's a large snow system being forecast on the GFS up here in Canada. Caleb, I believe this is where you are from in Canada, correct? Up around, I don't even know what Canadian town that is. I think it's Montreal. Just north of New York.
I gotta wait for your stream to... Oh, yeah. So I'm from, like, southern Ontario, so, like, 2 hours from Detroit. So like down between Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania. That's pretty close. And I'm actually going to Canada this weekend for Thanksgiving. It's Thanksgiving in Canada this weekend. For those of you that didn't know that, it falls on a different day than it does in the US. So maybe we'll just have to go a little bit to the north and experience a little snowfall, which would actually be pretty awesome. Like first storm chaser to capture snow of the year. That's the goal at this point.
That would actually be some pretty good bragging rights. Hey, I mean, this is only a semi-completed run, so this is actually October 10th that it's being forecast. So you actually could be the first storm chaser to see snow this year.
Yeah, it's a little after my visit, but we'll have to see.
Might have to convince Ryan to let you stick around.
Yeah, we'll have to take the new truck up there.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Caleb works for Ryan, and they are doing crazy things, and pretty soon here, they are actually going to bring back what used to be the greatest thing of all, which is tornado intercept probe. So they are going to...
Actually,
yeah, you probably have one. Let me grab one. Yeah, hold on. Let me pull him up bigger so you guys can see him here. Yeah, here we go. A live look at Ryan's tornado probes right there.
This is the first time that anyone other than a few people that are subscribed on Twitter have seen this.
Yeah, this is literally a first, guys, but why don't you walk us through what all it has and what it does?
Yeah, so on top is a Tempest weather station. This is basically going to give us live updates of everything that could happen inside of a tornado. So we have an anemometer. It can read dew points, temperatures, barometric pressure, things like that. So we're going to be able to track that. We also have a live camera here on the front. So we're able to keep track of everything that's going on live. I'm not going to open up the case solely for the fact that we don't want to release what we put inside of them.
Yes. It's gold bars inside of there for those of you who don't know. Yeah.
But it's a pretty cool system. We haven't got to deploy them yet, but we actively are testing them. I actually have one sitting on the floor right beside me that's been streaming for the past 76 hours nonstop.
Yep.
So hurricanes, tornadoes, blizzards, we'll be able to go drop these pretty much anywhere and be able to provide live footage to you guys. And we're gonna try and figure out a way that you can like go and click on them, kind of like the Radar Omega system, that you can click on cyclone ports. You can click on Hall probes or whatever we're gonna call them.
Hall probes, I like that name. Y'all probe.
Y'all probes. Well, it's going in the back of Hall Force 1, so.
Hall Force 1. Yep, and I saw Frank asking, that's the one for hurricanes. Yes, so I believe, Caleb can correct me if I'm wrong, but they are the same thing. They're just going to attach them to a base for tornado intercepts, so they don't get Mickey-yeeted into the sky.
Correct. So there's going to be like a big metal contraption that's going to be... So obviously our goal is to not do like Tim Samaras style deployments where we're like 60 yards in front of the tornado. Basically like, so imagine we're doing a deployment and we're experiencing another situation like Rolling Fork or Mayfield, Kentucky. Situations where we kind of knew that the tornado was going to affect these towns in some sort of way. It would be a way that we can go in 10, 15 minutes before the tornado even hits. And even if the tornado doesn't hit that town, just seeing how it's affecting that town will be super cool. So we'll deploy in these towns, we'll stake them into the ground, so it'll give us ample amounts of time to make sure they're secured. And then we'll go ahead and get out of there. And then, obviously, we'll let the probe do its work.
You guys, this is why you gotta subscribe. We take all of Ryan's silly contraptions and show them off in detail. Ryan's not allowed to have this kind of fun. I need to now get Discord back into the spot that it was in. Let's see if I can. Whoop. Perfect. All right, we're all set back up. Oh, nope, we're not set up yet. There we go. Okay. Sorry guys, I only have 3 monitors and I normally have 4, so all of my windows are a little crowded and I can't have stuff in the places that they are normally in, but we make do. Will it snow in Canada the week of the 15th? I bet, without looking at models, I can almost guarantee you somewhere in Canada it will snow. But let's try and do one better than that and tell me where in Canada we're talking about. And we'll take a look at that when the GFS runs a little bit more. Caleb is going to be a tornado researcher. Hey, if we can get information from these probes, it would help to, wow, I think Ryan Scholl all had a 0 meter with lightning right there. I just saw that out of the corner of my eye. That's fun. But yes, Caleb, or what was I saying? Oh yeah, if we can get information from these tornado probes, that would help further the warning time, so we get earlier warnings. That would be amazing. And if you know anyone who can actually use information from that weather station to help, just help research tornadoes at all, tell them to reach out to us. You can do that on Ryan's website. There's a contact email there. And I bet if Frank is still watching, we can have Frank post that in the chat. Ontario, the week of the 15th. All right, let's take a look. I believe.
Hey, I can give you a note on that. The week of the 15th. That was actually what we were just looking at. We saw on October 10th that snowfall was northern Ontario, so that's gonna be north of Barrie, north of Toronto, probably up near Kingston, Ottawa, things like that, into parts of Quebec. So you don't even have to look at the GFS. There's no need for models anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's no need for models. These models are funny anyways. They like to do weird things. Frank, post a link to Ryan's site with the contact information on it. Because why not? We can. Alright guys, well I see that there is 54 people watching, and according to my YouTube studio, we only have 43 likes. Come on now. I'm shamelessly asking for likes, so you guys should shamelessly click that like button and subscribe to the channel, because you guys can get more information and we can get more people this information as we see more severe weather here for the rest of tonight. It looks like, fortunately, this storm near Lubbock did dissipate as far as large hail goes before. Oh, right as I said that, they issued another severe thunderstorm warning, and this time even stronger. So Lubbock, wow, what's that town name? Wolford? We're going to go with that. Shallow water, I believe that's Smire. You guys need to be not outside right now because there is large hail coming into your area. We'll go ahead and take a look at how big that hail is going to be. Looks like we have hail up to 1.75 inches and maximum wind speeds of 70 miles an hour. So unless you want to get hit in the face with a ping pong ball going at 70 miles an hour, at least 70 miles an hour, it's going to be moving closer to terminal velocity, which for those of you who don't speak scientific jargon, that means fast. So don't be hit in the face by a ping pong ball from the sky. It would not be a fun time. Back down here to the south, it looks like luckily we did not lose our radar site when we had this hailstorm go through Midland, Texas. So that is good, because if we lost this radar, this entire area out here in Texas is not going to have radar, because there is no other radar towers out here. Hopefully we don't lose Lubbock. It's like today's theme is large hailstones assaulting the weather radars, which is never a good thing. Looks like Ryan Scholl is getting closer to this hailstorm here. Let's go ahead and take a look at his feed on the full screen. It is a little pixelated because there's no cell service in the middle of nowhere, Texas, but hey, any stream is better than no stream. Hopefully it stops freezing here in a bit. If anyone can tell AT&T or Verizon to go pop up a random tower in Vera, Texas for the next half an hour at least, that would be great. Oh wow, look, a singular pixel of 3-inch hail, or 2.02-inch hail, as indicated by radar. And Ryan Scholl is getting dangerously close to this hail core right here. You can actually see his location starting to move a little bit further in. Looks like we're going for a little bit of a core punch just for fun. come back up here and take a look at Oklahoma City. There was a severe thunderstorm warning up here earlier, but it looks like that has been allowed to expire as most of these storms have greatly weakened. Up here, the main threat, I believe, is no longer going to be hail and damaging winds, yet it's going to be flash flooding. Let me download a few more radar scans here, and then we're going to put it into motion to see how fast these storms are moving. But you guys can probably just take a look at this and know that this is a lot of rain, and it's going to go over the same areas over and over, which means there will be flash flooding in metro areas and low-lying areas. Alright, we got our scans here. Yeah, this is not moving quickly, so there is definitely a concern for flash flooding. And right here, you can actually see we have a flash flood warning right here. And this is from this line of storms that we had here earlier that just literally went over the same area over and over and over again. That is this line right here. So this is definitely a concern that we need to look out for the rest of the day, because it's not going to be good. Come back down to the south here, see if Ryan Scholl is having any fun. Wow, 85-mile-per-hour wind gust. That looks like it's really old, but that's crazy. I hadn't seen that. Oh, yep, Ryan is now in the storm. Actually, I think my OBS is giving me issues, and it's not changing scenes. So all that time I was talking about the radar, you guys couldn't see it. That is amazing. OBS likes to do funny things, but hey, we need it to be able to do this. Let's go ahead and turn on the audio on Ryan's stream and see if we can hear any hail in there.
Uh-oh, it's hailing.
Oh, there it is. Perfect timing. We got the hail. Just like we said, looking at the radar, there isn't... Oh, there's a lot of hail in there.
Dude, it sounds worse than it is.
Did he say it sounds worse than it is? Or it's worse than it sounds? One of the two.
There's some big hail in here.
Okay, it sounds like there is some big hail. And he's having fun. Hopefully he does not lose his windshield.
Pray for dear God that my windshield's gonna be fine.
Yeah, we have the same concerns here. It looks like the hail is bigger than what radar was anticipating. Wow, that sounds big.
I can't see. It's whiteout conditions right now.
Once again, guys, this is Storm Chaser Ryan Scholl. I'm going to post his link in chat. Please go subscribe to him because he's been really nice in allowing us to use his streams for the day. And we should do what we can to support him on his storm chasing endeavors for being so nice. I'll leave that audio up in the background. If it is too loud and you guys can't hear me, just let me know.
Whoa, where's the road at? Where's the road at? There it is.
Actually, I'm going to go ahead and mute that because it sounds like things are getting a little concerning there. And we just had a picture submitted on Twitter from Ryan. So let's go ahead and take a look at that right here. Wow, that's a cloud for sure. That is beautiful. If you guys want to see this for yourself, and go ahead and go over to Twitter. My @ on Twitter is simco12_WX. I'm sure one of our mods can post that in chat. But you can see anything I post as well as this picture because I retweeted it. And that is how Twitter works. That's beautiful. And once again, guys, he's right here in the storm. So he was a little further away from it, about over here earlier. And of course, the storm is also moving towards him. But that is probably still what this storm looks like. So if you are in any of these areas, anywhere in about this circle, and you want to see some beautiful structure, go outside now. and make sure you go back inside before it gets to you and wants to mess up your house and your car and all that. This is a large cluster of severe thunderstorm warnings right here. I'm pretty sure the scientific word for this is a cluster F. I'm not gonna say the word. I'm pretty sure you guys can fill in your minds what that means. But that's what we have going on here. Is we'll call it what should we call it? A cluster show. That sounds more PG-13, and like YouTube will not get mad at me for swearing. Do storm chasers get a discount on windshields? No, they do not. And in fact, I believe a majority of them get an upcharge because insurance hates storm chasers because they always blow their windshields apart.
All right, Riley, I have a quick update for you. Something I just noticed on the radar.
Go ahead, Caleb.
So I want to bring your attention up to that cell that's, I believe, a considerable severe thunderstorm warning up in Lubbock right now. And if you look at the, I'm looking at a 30 frame of it, but you can actually see it attempting to latch onto a boundary towards the east. And it's starting to create that classic supercell look before it goes tornadic. So it's starting to give it that little bit of a comma shape that hooks down to the bottom, and we're actually starting to see it wrap up at the bottom. Obviously, the velocity on the latest scan's really skewed because of how close we are to the radar site. But I think right now, of all of the storms out there, if there's any storm that could possibly become tornadic over the next little bit, this would be the one to do it.
Yep, and I agree with that. In fact, it looked like a couple scans ago there was actually slightly better low-level rotation on that. So we're going to go ahead and take our radar off of your normal hail and take it to tornado detection. I wonder if right here, if this is just two boundaries fighting, or if this is actually an extended hook echo from this storm, or both. But I think what we knew coming into today is storms were going to need a little help to get surface-based and be able to produce tornadoes. And this is the help that these storms would need. So if any storm is going to produce a tornado, it's going to be this one, and it's going to be soon. And unfortunately, it is going into Lubbock soon as well. I wonder if the National Weather Service, okay, they updated the warning, but they did not include a tornado possible tag. But we'll keep an eye on that. I thought Lubbock had a terminal radar, but it looks like they don't. So unfortunately, we can't look at that. But this is definitely a storm to keep an eye on over the next couple of hours. Or not hours, minutes. Hours too, because it's going to stick around for a while. It's in a perfect spot to kind of just sit there and slowly meander and just produce a bunch of hail and rain. This is actually crazy. This area right here, there is a large concern for flash flooding because these are slow-moving storms producing a lot of rain, and they are going to keep moving in this overall direction to the east, northeast, and just, yeah, there's going to be a lot of rain. I don't know what else to say. Don't know why I'm trying to get technical about rain. I wonder if any of these are exhibiting any kind of rotation. They are not. Now, if you guys are familiar with radar, you're probably looking at this storm right here and saying, well, hey, that looks like there's a little bit of a couplet right there, a little bit of red next to green. That is not rotation. There is so much hail here that the radar is doing silly things, and it's contaminating our velocity product. So it's going to make you think there's radar, or not radar. It's going to make you think there's rotation when in fact there's not. When did you join Ryan Hall's team? Dang. I have to think back. I remember the first time I watched Ryan Hall was October of 2021. And then I believe around February of 2022, Frank reached out to me because I had put in a Discord mod application in the server. And then I accepted that, so that was the first time that I did any sort of assistance for Ryan. And then I believe sometime around early tornado season of that year, so that's March or May, I had this idea for actually this thing right here. You can see at the bottom of the screen. I had an early idea for that. This is our warning overlay. So originally, what this was before it is automated like it is now is we had a I would put up a green screen stream to him, and then I would manually edit the text with any information on tornado warnings, severe thunderstorm warnings, all of that. But of course now it is automated, but that is where I really originally joined Ryan's team, and then it's kind of just grown from there. So I took over sometime in the end of that year, I believe November 2022, somewhere in there. I became the Storm Chaser manager for Ryan, and then I did that for a couple of years, couple of months, and then in May, after I finished college for the year, I actually moved to Kentucky and did what Caleb is doing right now. So I was the live stream producer for Ryan from the Weather House, and then I also kind of just did a bunch of random side projects that they would need done. So we outfitted a vehicle for mobile streaming and helping out with the Y'all Squad, and then we went on some Y'all Squad missions, and then we also had a few times where we went storm chasing and streamed that to you guys. Now, of course, I am back in college in UW Stevens Point, and I am not in Kentucky, so Caleb has taken over what I was doing there, and Caleb was doing great things, but I don't know. I guess no, I don't know. But I'm back to that Storm Chaser manager position. So what I do is when Ryan has a live stream, I work with the Storm Chasers to figure out who's doing what, who's where, who's able to stream, and I kind of organize all of that stuff and then hand that off to Caleb in Kentucky. Caleb, have you been enjoying Kentucky? What are your experiences with Kentucky so far?
Well, I almost got eaten by a bear. So that was a thing that happened last weekend. I went to the Breaks. It's like a big national park here, like 45 minutes away from where we are. So I went there camping. Almost got eaten by a bear my first night camping there. Beyond that, work's great. Like Riley said, I pretty much do everything that Riley did, and then I also edit on top of that. So when have downtime, I'm editing extra videos, parts of the main channel videos, things like that. Building tornado probes. But yeah, no, Kentucky's great. It would be more fun if Riley was here, and we'd make it work. We'd all have our jobs. Yeah, we just need Riley to quit college and move back to Kentucky. I think that's the real solution here.
Yeah, if only it was that easy, you know. There wasn't more things in life besides dropping out of college, but
no, I think it is that easy. I think you could just like put everything in a box.
Put everything in a box. Funny enough, this box, I actually have it right here. I have this giant foldable box. Oh, I can't get it on camera, but this foldable box is the box that contains my entire setup every time I moved.
Perfect. So you don't even need to do anything else. I also just want everyone else to be aware of this because once I saw it, I now can't unsee it. But if you take a gander over at Mr.Dibble's camera there, and just admire, first of all, no more towels. I do want to note on that. He is no longer using the towel behind him. He does have a backdrop. However, he didn't pull the backdrop all the way over to the one side. So like 20% of his background is still wall. And I just love that.
Yeah. So funny situation here. This backdrop is actually supposed to be a cloud flag. You guys can't really tell, but there's clouds on it. And it's like 6 inches too small for the space I have. So we'll try and move it over, and we'll see if we can get it to a position where there's not a gap on the other side. But unfortunately, I feel like we're going to be stuck with a little bit of wall.
Why don't you just move your camera? Like, just turn your camera a little bit.
I can't move my camera because it's like it turns itself back. It's a fake. Yeah, it's one of the Logitech ones that sits on your monitor. Yeah, that's better.
I know what you're talking about.
And for those of you who are wondering what's behind the flag, there's a bunch of stuff back there because I do live in a college dorm and there's not a lot of space in here and I need somewhere to put a bunch of stuff. What's your degree program you are studying? I am studying water resources And what I hope to do with that is better understand how to control floods and what can be done to prevent the impacts of floods, because flooding is and will always be the most dangerous aspect of weather, whether it's a severe system. The flash flooding is always a concern, and more people die in flash floods every year than tornadoes. And whether in a hurricane, an overwhelming majority of the deaths, I believe it's 75% or more, come from the storm surge that is associated with hurricanes, which is basically just wind throwing a bunch of water from the ocean onto land. Water is always slept on. Water is the strongest force on the planet, and people don't understand how strong and concerning water can be. Alright, back to the weather for at least a little bit. Let's take a look at what our hailstorms are doing. We can see Ryan Shoal is mostly through that hail core, and it looks like most of our severe threat in Oklahoma has mostly weakened. So that is a good thing. However, there's still a flash flooding threat in Oklahoma, without a doubt. Back over here towards Lubbock, where we are seeing that cell trying to become surface based, it looks like radar is a little contaminated, and it's starting to take a little bit of a weird presentation, and this is just expected when it's interacting with boundaries like that. But there is a little dangly bit, and it looks like the radar believes that there is a upper level rotation. Let's go ahead and move this into the upper levels and see if we can see anything more clear. No, we really can't. So unfortunately, it's getting a little too close to the radar, and we can't really see what's going on. Is there a way to join Ryan Hall's team, or do I have to do something through Discord? So right now, I guess there's really no clear answer to that. We're not really looking for any more team members at this point in time. However, if you are wanting to maybe eventually become part of the team, I'd say joining the Discord is a really, really good place to get, or a really good place to start, because we can get to know you there. I mean, I'm in chat there all the time. A good portion of our team is always in chat, and we kind of just chill there. And that's where I started, so it definitely works because I got here somehow. And the other way people join the team is like Caleb did, is they get a little crazy and they become a storm chaser. And once they are well established enough, we'll sometimes reach out to them and we'll start working with them, because obviously we need storm chasers on Ryan's feeds. And so yeah, I believe they met Caleb in Rolling Fork, and he helped him with relief there. And then we started using his live streams, and he helped us with a few more Y'all Squad things, and we were like, hey, he's good at what he does. We should have more of Caleb on the team. And now we have more of Caleb, and he's there in Kentucky living the life.
Yeah, I also want to add one thing. It's not available yet, but here shortly we're also going to be having volunteer positions with the Y'all Squad. So if that's something that you might be interested in the future, there's going to be an announcement about that. But that's just a little secret information that's going to be coming out in the near future.
Yeah, apparently we're all about sharing secret information here today. We love exposing Ryan's secrets. We should just switch the stream name to Ryan Hall Exposed. It would actually probably get more views, because for some reason everyone likes to prey on the downfall of Ryan Hall.
Honestly, these are just all my secrets. So
yeah, these are all. This is Caleb.
These are literally
Caleb
just my
Exposed.
secrets.
Yeah. Do you, Ryan, and Andy take terms for live feeds? Are you talking about streaming? I believe you're talking about streaming. We don't really take turns, but Ryan only goes live for significant tornado events. That is a 10 hatched risk or greater, or moderate risks. And then Andy will go live if there is a what am I trying to say? If there is, I believe it is a 5% risk of tornadoes, and or actually no, just a 5% risk of a tornado. If there's a tornado watch, Andy's live. If there's a significant tornado event that's probably going to occur, Ryan's live. And if I'm bored and there's weather going on and I'm not preoccupied with other stuff having to do with Ryan's content, I am live. You know who else is always live? Ryan Scholl, and he's actually live right now. It's kind of fun just sitting here trying to come up with the most random segues to different information. If you guys haven't...
What was that? Segue to my food.
Oh, Kale's got food. This might be the most important thing we've heard of all day. Let's see. Oh yeah, there we go. I have you on the full screen.
We're sticking with the Mexican theme, same as last night, not Taco Bell. Here at the Weather House, we're on this really big workout and protein kick right now. Today was shoulder and back day, so everything's burning a little bit. But you got to have that super high protein intake. So I'm going with a pollo bandito. Right there, you can see it. Lots of chicken, some rice, some beans. It's pretty much the meal for tonight. Normally I would get enchiladas, but that's what we're going with.
The backdrop has failed on us, guys.
Did it fall?
Yeah, it did. Is Northern Alabama in the path of the storm? No, it is not. I don't believe Northern Alabama has any severe threat over the next few days, as this system's kind of going to weaken and move a little too far south to have any severe threat for the United States. You know what I need to do? I need to eat. You made me hungry, Caleb. Put my beautiful backdrop up here so we don't see my stuff. Wow, no more oh, we went a little bit too high there. Is that better? A little bit lower. Maybe we can use a mallet and stick a mallet in place. Wow, I'm literally a pro at fixing stuff in not normal ways. Food poll? Should we do a food poll? We have two options. We'll run a food poll. Chicken taquitos or pizza rolls. Of course, the two most important things in the diet of a college kid. Oh, we don't need to do an intro. We've already started streaming. Alabama is dry. Yeah, dry is like the theme of the United States right now. There's just not much going on in terms of moisture.
Except for Texas.
Except for Texas right now.
Oh, I didn't even realize I was unmuted. I just said that.
Yeah. Hey, and speaking of moist, we just had a flash flood warning issued for this area that we've been talking about in terms of flash flooding for almost the last hour. And it finally happened. We got our flash flood warning. Right now, it looks like it is just a normal flash flood warning. It is not overly concerning, but it's a flash flood warning nonetheless, and this area is not done getting rain yet. It looks like they may get up to another 2 or 3 or maybe 4 inches of rain, especially in this area further to the east of this box. You guys are getting a lot of rain. That PC is crazy. Yeah, I assume you're talking about Caleb's PC. That PC has a Intel 12900K and a 4090 in it. Yeah, he'll give us a closer look at that PC. It's beautiful. It's filled with a bunch of RGB fans, and it's only tried to kill itself a couple of times. There's a camera mount suction cup to the PC. We love that. That's a pro camera right there. But yeah, that PC's only tried to kill itself a couple times. When Ryan was using that used to be Ryan's mainstream computer. It attempted to blow up on him. Computers aren't supposed to do that, but yeah, the processor blew up. But now Ryan has a much better computer. Back to the radar here, we just got another flash flood warning to the west of the one that was just issued. This is, for those of you who might not know where this is, because the town names aren't really showing up since I'm so far zoomed out. Right here is Lubbock. So pretty much anywhere east of Lubbock within that 50-mile area is wet. And you probably want to stay off the roads because there's a lot of water. Would there be any chance of tornadoes or just severe weather storms? What are we talking about? For where and when? PC upgrades are always a good thing when they work. I know from my past experiences that they don't always work. I tried to, or I guess I was more forced by Windows to upgrade to Windows 11, and it broke my entire computer, but we have now fixed it. Wow, this is a very close poll. We have 46% of people saying chicken taquitos. Oh wow, 48 to 52%. You guys aren't being really helpful here. It's almost 50-50. We got to make up a decision here soon, though. Take a look at Ryan Scholl's feed, shall we? Oh, wow, I clicked the wrong button again. Twice, actually. 3 times. Wow, that's a lot of wrong buttons in a row. When do I expect to graduate? I am on target to graduate in either 26 or I may graduate 1 semester into 26. So sometime in 2026. I'm a junior right now in terms of credit, but this is my 2nd year in college. Wow, it's 50-50 on the poll. Someone make the decision. The next vote takes all on what we're making for dinner, chicken taquitos or pizza rolls. Or we'll let Caleb make the decision. Keep in mind, I did eat chicken taquitos yesterday, guys. I'm not sure how many chicken taquitos one human can right there. Frank said pizza rolls. We're making pizza rolls.
I agree with Frank. Pizza rolls is the way to go.
Pizza rolls is the way to go. We can have pizza rolls and Fritos because I have a bag of Fritos next to me because I eat non-stop. I don't even have to leave to make pizza rolls. Actually, I think I can rotate my camera here. I have this microwave right next to me because I'm in a college dorm, and it's also an air fryer, and that's where I make my pizza rolls. I could even set up a camera, and we could watch the pizza rolls spin in the microwave.
Is your microwave Alexa enabled like the one in Perryton, Texas?
So for those of you who are really confused, I guess all of you who are really confused what that means, when we were in Perryton, Texas, doing a Y'all Squad event, there was a microwave in one of the hotels, and it had a sticker on there that said, "This microwave is Alexa compatible." So another storm chaser, Chris Hall, walked up to this microwave, looked it dead in the eye, and was like, "Alexa, start the microwave." Now, the microwave actually lied to us. It was not Alexa enabled, and there was no... It didn't do anything, guys. Like, I was like, come on. But we did manage to sneak some time in there when Chris wasn't looking, and I believe we made him believe that it was a Alexa-enabled microwave.
Yeah, we probably stared at that microwave for like 25 minutes.
Yeah, we
You're
spent
like,
a lot
"Alexa,
of time.
start the microwave."
We were really, really tired. That was after one of the days of the all squatting. And we spent our night staring at a microwave because we tried to go to the hot tub that Holiday Inn so graciously provided. And not hot tub. Caleb can correct me if I'm wrong.
So
But I
cold.
believe that hot tub was 33 degrees Fahrenheit. That
Yeah, it was like right at the freezing point.
Yeah, no, it was literally the worst hot tub ever. You should have recorded it. I believe there is a video recording of that.
I will post it on Twitter.
I guess we're gonna get it on Twitter. Caleb, send me that video on Snapchat.
Yeah, I just got to make sure it's PG before I post it on Twitter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of choice words that get said in that video, if I remember it correctly. The food stream, should we make pizza rolls? Should I make pizza rolls right now, guys? A cold tub? Yeah, it was a cold tub. And I mean, you would think a cold tub would feel a little nice after a toasty day in the 114 degrees Texas heat covered in sunburns. But it was literally too cold to be a cold tub. Like, it wasn't even a cold tub. It was like a absolute zero tub. Hey, Ryan Scholl's severe thunderstorm warning here just got upgraded to a considerable severe thunderstorm warning. 1.75-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. And if you're in Lubbock, you're getting destroyed by hail right now, upwards of 2 inches in diameter. So Lubbock, don't be driving, and please don't be an idiot. Don't park under an underpass. If you park under an underpass, A, you're not actually helping yourself, and B, nobody likes you. So don't do that. Hey, we got another flash flood warning. Flash flooding, I feel like flash flooding is going to become the theme of today. Wow, this is turning into quite the hailstorm near Ryan Scholl here. Let me go ahead and switch this back to oh wow. 3.64-inch hail. Let's go ahead and talk to Ryan Scholl real quick if he is able. Hey Ryan, no worries if you are too busy driving in that whiteout conditions to respond, but radar has tagged your storm with 3.75-inch hail. What is the biggest hailstone you have seen while screwing around on the inside of this thing? Give him a second to respond. And we have found the video of the Alexa-enabled microwave. Yeah, the EAS alert that we all got today was definitely 2 minutes early, so I can hear FEMA being like, oh, well, we said XX whatever time zone you're in 20-ish, but no, it was definitely early. Pizza rolls, there's a lot of people saying to make pizza rolls right now. Let me see if I can't connect a pizza rolls camera, because we can. I have my other camera right here. I just need to go ahead and swap out the battery in it. Should be able to, guys. A live view of pizza rolls cooking.
Alrighty, Riley, if you take a gander over at Twitter, you're more than welcome to show that on stream. I made sure that it was YouTube appropriate before uploading it.
Alright, do I need to mute the audio or anything? Or no?
No. It's all good. There was like one thing, but it was right at the very end, so we just cut it out.
Here we go. We have Kale's Twitter up. And let's go ahead and take a peek at
Alexa.
Wait, let's clear it.
the Alexa microwave.
Alexa. Wait, let's clear it.
Yeah, you see right there, this middle button was supposed to be an Alexa button, but it did not function. There was no Alexa microwave.
Why is there an Alexa button on my microwave?
Alexa, play me some fire beats.
Alexa, microwave for 4 minutes.
Microwaving for 4 minutes.
Imagine.
Why does it have Alexa on it?
We have to get the peel off. Why are we looking at a microwave?
Alexa.
Wait, let's clear it. Why is there an Alexa button on my microwave?
Alexa, play me some fire beats.
Alexa, microwave for 4 minutes.
Microwaving for 4 minutes.
Imagine.
Yeah. So you guys can see that they promised us an Alexa microwave.
Peel off.
and
Why are we
the
looking at a
Alexa feature of
microwave?
said microwave did not work.
Alexa.
Wait, let's clear it.
Honestly, we should sue the makers of whoever made that
Why is
microwave.
there an Alexa button on my microwave?
Alexa, play me some fire.
Yeah, if you guys haven't figured out, we like to have fun around here. Fun is the most important thing in life. I need to grab my cam link, and then I will have a pizza rolls feed for you.
Alrighty, well, I'll talk, I guess. Well, Riley's gone just to fill the dead air. But that's pretty much what every single storm chase experience is like with storm chasers. If like multiple people stay in a hotel room, that I've experienced anyways. There's an awful lot of shenanigans before chases, after chases, during chases. I have experienced being cheesed before, and if you don't know what that is, people will just literally drive up. I'm not going to name any chasers' names because I don't want them to be slandered on Twitter. But you know who you are if you're watching this. They just drive up and they throw a piece of American cheese on your windshield while your wipers are running, and then it smears all over your window. That happened once, but really, beyond that, I don't know what else to talk about because there's nothing happening here in the weather that Riley hasn't already talked about. But we do have a flash flood warning in Oklahoma now for the southern portion of the state. It's going to be down near Pauls Valley, Stratford, Bing. I don't know if that's how you say it, but it would be great for the snacks. Seems like a nice thing to do. Tossing. What's the pros and cons of doing this job? There's a lot of pros. I don't even know how to name all of them. I get to work with great people like Frank, Riley, Ryan, a whole bunch of other people on the team. I get to see a whole bunch of places and get to do a lot of y'all squad stuff, which is like my biggest passion. I could forego chasing storms any day to help people after the storm. And then biggest con working for Ryan or working in general. I don't think I can really think of one. Honestly, it's like the perfect work environment. Like it's just enough amount of work to like almost like a family atmosphere environment that it doesn't feel like work every single day. We have really busy days, but some days it's just like you're doing nothing for 8 hours.
Yeah, no, it's always been a great experience working for Ryan for sure. For some reason, Camlink does not want to participate in the silliness. There we go. Oh my god, in all of its glory. We have the pizza rolls camera now. We're gonna put the pizza rolls camera here in the lower corner. Right there. Pizza rolls. Every time you say Alexa, my Alexa looks to start a kitchen appliance. Alexa, play Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley.
And for those of you that are not Alexa users, hey Google, play Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley. I just want to make sure we shared the wealth.
Yeah.
Everybody here.
Everyone's important.
I would do Siri, but that's like a voice activated. It knows your voice, so there's no point.
Yeah, Siri's too smart for our shenanigans here. What's your favorite flavor of crayons? I love the yellow crayons. They're my favorite. Can you guys hear the beautiful crinkling plastic of my pizza rolls? How long these bad boys go in here? 4 minutes at 390 degrees.
What kind of your pizza oven or your air frying them? You're not microwaving them.
Yes, I'm air frying them. I'm not going to commit blasphemy.
I was like, are you gonna
my
microwave a pizza roll for 4 minutes? It will not be left. Like, it will just be gone.
put the pizza on the top here. Our oven.
Oh, we successfully got Frank's TV by saying, "Hey Google, play Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley."
Hey, our pizza rolls are well underway. You got out of your room just before I said that. Alexa, play Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley. You didn't get out of the way on that one. We still got you. We get everyone here. Lava Pockets, yeah, I will probably burn my face off eating these. But hey, there's not a lot of weather to talk about. So we might as well talk about pizza rolls. Oh my god, guys. Oh wow, my camera is crooked. I just checked my phone quick. And my girlfriend sent me a video eating a curd burger, and now I also want a curd burger. I am sad that I cannot have a curd burger. I have to respond now. Curd burgers, yeah, enjoy your food. Hey, funny enough, this is, I think we just hit 78 concurrent viewers talking about pizza rolls, and that is the most viewers I've ever had on a live stream. So if you guys want to be YouTube successful, talk about pizza rolls. DoorDash, I would DoorDash, except for there's one big issue with that. Culver's is not on DoorDash in this town, and I am a broke college kid. So that is majorly unfortunate. Guys, we're at 96 likes. If everyone else who's watching the stream likes this video right now, we can have more people come here for severe weather coverage, but instead talk about pizza rolls. I think this could be the funniest thing. Imagine how many people think they're going to come here to hear about some crazy storms, but instead they're talking about pizza rolls. You know what? Actually, it looks like Ryan Scholl's busy. If he wasn't driving in so much rain, I'd ask him what his favorite kind of pizza rolls are. I forgot to tell you guys what kind of pizza rolls I'm eating. That's really important information. We're almost at 3,000 subscribers. Wait a second. How close are we? We could have a 3,000 subscriber pizza roll party. Hold on, guys. I will pull that up here in just a second. We are at 2,974 subscribers. So in just a little bit, we will be at 3,000 subscribers. 105 likes. There we go, guys. Everyone is getting their chat or their feed spammed with pizza rolls right now. How do we gift you money? So right now my channel is not monetized yet. So I have no way of accepting money, nor do I like accepting money. I'm here because I like to have a good time with you guys. And I don't want your money. Use your money, go to Walmart, and buy yourself pizza rolls. That is your gift to me, is getting yourself pizza roll.
Or,
hear
me out, go over to Ryan Scholl's stream.
Give him money.
With a big fat donation. Yeah, hit him with a big fat donation.
Yeah, somebody
a windshield.
Somebody go donate to Ryan Scholl and tell him that Riley sent you, because he will get mad at me, and that's really, really funny. Our microwave here, guys. We're halfway to 400 degrees. We can almost start making our pizza rolls here. Is this what you expected, Caleb? As a pizza roll stream?
Honestly, I came here not expecting anything, just based off of last night's stream.
That is a very, very fair assumption to make.
I mean, like, let's be real. If something serious starts to happen and we need to jump on that, we'll get serious. We'll focus on that section of severe weather. But right now, honestly, everything just looks like doo-doo better. Like, there's just nothing happening. Don't get me wrong. There's big hail. There's a lot of considerable severe thunderstorm warnings out there. And if you have one in your area, you should probably be treating it as if like a tornado warning or tornado watch. Just don't go outside. Big hail. You see baseballs flying from the sky. It's not recommended that you just like go travel outside, wait a few minutes. It'll pass over. But beyond that, there's really nothing too crazy that's going on here today.
Yeah, the weather is pretty docile, but we're here for it. And you know what else we're here for?
Pizza rolls.
Pizza rolls. Yep, Caleb got it. Guys, one person subscribed. We are now at 2,975 subscribers. 2,976. Hey, at least we're here on a low-end day, so we can test everything out. We can see what will break. And then, in the future, when there is actually interesting weather, we can talk about that instead of pizza rolls. Speaking of interesting weather, we just got a new considerable severe thunderstorm warning for Snyder, Texas. And that is about as interesting as the weather has been all day. 1.5-inch hail and 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Now, if you guys are wondering how you can decide if a weather event is boring, when a weather event is exceedingly boring, the National Weather Service will start to include continuous cloud-to-ground lightning in their warnings. This means there is so little to talk about, they need to fill up that warning more and talk about lightning. Oh, Caleb's camera is moving around. Is that one of the Insta360 cameras?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with it. I'm not even touching it.
Oh, well, it's clueless with what's going on. Oh, wow. Well, right here, guys, we have a live view of the ceiling in the production room at Ryan's house. So if you guys ever wondered what the ceiling looks like, that's what it looks like. All right, we ended the poll at 69 votes. Nice. 52% of you said pizza rolls, and 47% of you said chicken taquitos. And we are, in fact, having pizza rolls. A pizza roll storm. Actually, this storm right here that we're looking at near Snyder is, in fact, producing pizza roll-sized hail. I just realized that. All right, and there's a TVS up here. The radar has lost its mind. Wow, what is your camera doing? Oh, the piano. That is a piano, guys, for those of you who did not know. Love the chill factor of the stream. You know, I feel like I could somehow make a tornado outbreak stream, a chill stream. You guys hear that? The pizza rolls. The oven has beeped. It is time to put the pizza rolls in the microwave. Alright, the pizza rolls are officially in the microwave, so we are starting the timer for 4 minutes. And in 4 minutes, when this clock beneath me hits 18, 13, 37, we will flip the pizza rolls. And then, 4 minutes after that, we will eat said pizza rolls. Get the likes to 69. Unfortunately, we have already surpassed 69 likes. But we could get to 420 likes. We are very far way away from 420 likes, but we could perhaps hit 420 likes today if we stick around long enough. Wow, my screen is glitching again. Go ahead and take a look at Ryan Scholl's feed again, because he is on the only interesting storm we have. I guess there's more interesting storms, but this is the one we like the most. But you can see that over here on Echo Tops, earlier when we were looking at this storm, it was greater than 50,000 feet tall, and now it's less than that, closer to 45,000 feet tall. Now what this is telling us is these storms are indeed losing strength as this boundary here kind of catches up to them. and they're no longer going to be producing the significant hail that they once were. It's mostly going to be a flash flooding threat, which these storms are still just chilling here in this area. So until we see our front come through and push this away, there's definitely going to be a large concern for flash flooding. Another considerable severe thunderstorm warning down here near Snyder. This time it's for the towns of Ackerley and Gale. That is quite some distance south of Lubbock if you guys are in Texas but don't really know where you are. How are we doing on the pizza roll timer? We got 2 minutes, exactly 2 minutes until the pizza rolls get flipped. Now, as this is your first time experiencing me making pizza rolls, I should inform you that they are in fact hot, and that metal pan that they sit on is even hotter. And I have nothing to grab them with. I have no hot pad, so I have to take a towel and fold said towel 10 or 11 times, and I just have to be quick enough to not burn myself. So you guys get to watch that. I need to grab my towel of choice. There we go. We got our hot pad towel. Use the backdrop? Nah, we have the pizza roll towel. Now, you guys are wondering how you make a hot pad out of a towel. You take it, and then you fold it in half, just like this. Then you take it and you fold it in half again. And then you take it and you fold it in half again. And then put your hand inside of this, and then you just have to be quick. So it looks like YouTube is yelling at me that my bitrate is low. Is my stream glitching, or is YouTube just lying to me? The most intense part of this is the microwave. Hey, we need pizza rolls, my guy. Use your hands? I'm not going to use my hands, guys. That is a terrible idea. It is time to take the pizza rolls out, however. Boom. We did it. Pizza rolls are out of the microwave, and it is time to flip them. So, now we can flip pizza rolls. And there we go. Just like that, we have 16 freshly flipped pizza rolls. I'll go ahead and give you guys a close-up on this beautiful pizza roll action before I very quickly burn my hand and throw these back in. All right, now we are T-minus 4 minutes away from pizza rolls. Should have had chicken taquitos. Amber, we can have chicken taquitos too, just for you. Actually, I have a piece of a Pop-Tart here. We're going to eat this too. Dip them in ranch salad dressing. I don't have ranch, bro. I literally just have to raw dog these pizza rolls. Mmm. Delicious. Alright. That was perhaps the driest Pop-Tart I've ever eaten in my life. So now, we need to hydrate with this beautiful Stanley my girlfriend got me.
I thought you were eating pizza rolls. Why do you have a Pop-Tart?
We're eating both now. I told you I eat all day long, so I have food just like pack ratted in here. I also have Fritos bean dip, and of course you need the Fritos to go with your Fritos bean dip.
I distinctly remember, like, when we were in Perryton, Just like going in the back of the truck and finding like a cheeseburger under the seat that was like brand new, still in the bag. Riley's like, don't throw that out. I'm going to eat that later.
And guess what?
He probably did.
I did eat it later. I had to save that McDonald's cheeseburger, bro. I wasn't promised food recently. Here, guys. This right here is an elite snack. This is a Frito with bean dip on it. I'm going to get one more of those. Delicious. Alright, we should probably go ahead and take another look at the weather because that is why we are actually here. We'll just go north to south here. Down here to the south, near the Mexico-Texas border, we have this cluster of severe thunderstorms right here. It looks like these is mainly a threat for damaging winds, and there is some small hail, also up to 1 inch in diameter. Further off to the north, we have another cluster of storms that is slightly stronger here near Snyder and Ackerley. These two are producing slightly larger hail. I believe that is 1.75 inch. Yep, 1.75 inch hail and 60 mile per hour winds. And then up here we have the storm that recently went through Lubbock that was trying to become surface-based. It did fail to become surface-based, and it does no longer have any tornado potential. So I do believe there is literally no chance of tornadoes today. And then back over here, we have this cluster of thunderstorms right here that we've been watching for a while now. Storm chaser Ryan Scholl is there. However, his feed is down. But we did see large hail with this earlier. I believe Ryan Scholl had hail greater than baseball size. But it's pretty much weakened now. And I mean, we're going to continue to see this pattern for at least some time here. Guys, you know what time it is now? It is time to take the pizza rolls out of the microwave. Alright, well, I hope you all enjoyed those cinematic shots of pizza rolls. Unfortunately, that will do it for our microwave camera, because there's nothing else to look at there. But those were our pizza rolls. Now, if you've had pizza rolls before, you know we need to give these a solid 12 hours to cool off, or I will burn the roof of my mouth. You cooked them too long? Amber, literally one of these exploded. But yeah, I probably did leave them in there just a little bit too long.
Yeah, I definitely find that the best way to cook pizza rolls is like 1/3 of whatever, or not 1/3, sorry, you cook it for 3/4 of the amount of time of whatever the package says. So if it says you cook it for 4 minutes, you cook it for 3 minutes, and then maybe add like an extra 30 seconds after you test the waters.
Yeah, but at least we have pizza rolls. That is the most important thing, of course, and it looks like they're also toasting my mic. But for those of you who are unfamiliar with pizza rolls, this is a pizza roll. It is bread with a pizza inside. His tongue is about to get 3rd-degree burns. That's being generous. I think we're about to create a new degree. They're definitely still hot inside. Caleb's correct. Amber, maybe you just need to teach me more of your ways. For those of you who don't know, Amber is my girlfriend. She is the person who somehow manages to put up with me every single day of her life, which is definitely not a small task. So We love her. If a person walked on and I was just talking about pizza rolls, I'd be so confused. They'd be confused, but they'd be like, hey, wait a second. This is a great time. See, this is the worst part about pizza rolls. We're literally just sitting here letting them cool down. Like, I don't want to wait to eat my pizza rolls. I want to eat my pizza rolls now. Take a look at what Ryan Scholl is doing here. Looks like he is just in a bunch of heavy rain, and it looks like he has no service. Oh, there we go. Looks like we got service back there. Maybe. We'll see. He might be done for the day. Let's see if I have an update from him. We do not. It looks like his stream just froze. But he's out there not having pizza rolls, and instead, he is chasing storms. Yeah, so it looks like we are starting to get more flash flood warnings up here in Oklahoma. We were talking about the potential for flash flooding here earlier. And these storms are still just chilling over the same exact area, producing more and more rain. So we are starting to see more flash flood warnings there. Now, I would not be surprised if pretty soon we see these warnings get upgraded to considerable flash flood warnings, just because if we're already at the criteria for a regular flash flood warning, there is without a doubt a great possibility that we exceed the chance for a considerable severe thunderstorm flash flood warning. And for those of you who might not know the difference between the two, a considerable flash flood warning, it's basically like saying, hey, this isn't your normal old flash flood warning. This is a little bit more concerning. There's even more flooding going on. And then one step above that is a flash flood emergency. Now, I highly doubt that we are going to see any flash flood emergencies today, because we normally only see flash flood emergencies in metro areas where there is very little ways for this water to go that is not in the path of humans. So, like a few days ago, we had a huge flooding situation in New York where we had feet and feet of water in that area. And speaking of flash flooding, taking a look at Ryan Scholl's feed, we can see that we have some flash flooding going on there. Now, I guarantee you, with this ditch being in Texas, it is not supposed to have a lot of water flowing down it like it is there. And that water looks really muddy, so what that's telling me is this water very quickly fell, and there's nowhere for it to go, so it's kind of just rushing downhill any way, shape, or form it can. Let's see if we can't get an update from Ryan Scholl. Hey Ryan, we are looking at your stream right now. It looks like there's a little bit of flash flooding going on. Have you been seeing this widespread, or is it really only in this area that you have seen this? Alright, so it looks like he just got out of his car, so hopefully he still heard us.
It's only been this area I've seen it, but looks like it keeps running off into this little creek, and I know a little bit more to the north there's even more flash flooding. Not really a good look as these training lines of thunderstorms keep continuing to track over Texas. I should really go for a swim.
That was Storm Chaser Ryan Scholl. He is whose feed we have up on screen right now. And yeah, that is a lot of water, and it's not supposed to be there. So that is a prime example of flash flooding. But yeah, and I'm not sure, if I was you, I would swim in that water. So let's go ahead and tell them that. Yeah, that water looks a little brown and crappy to be swimming in, but you do you, man. Wow, guys, these pizza rolls are really hot on my mouth. I feel like we made that prediction, and I was still not patient enough to let them cool down. But yeah, guys, he is right here in northern Texas. I'll circle his location since he's kind of covered by a hail report there. But you can see that he is still in the path of more rain. And again, this rain is mostly moving in this direction to the east. I think at this point it is going a little bit to the south. But there is still more rain to fall in this area. And it's not only this rain that we're seeing here with the yellows and the reds. There's also just going to be a lot of stratiform drizzle for the rest of the night. Cinematic shots here. Yeah, this is why we love Ryan. He's always out there getting the best content, and he's funny. And he's also probably an avid pizza roll enjoyer. It looks like we got a break now. We can ask him what kind of pizza rolls he likes. Hey Ryan, we have a really important question for you over here. We're currently enjoying some pizza rolls because the weather is a little bit tame. What is your favorite kind of pizza roll? Give him a second to respond there.
I feel like my take might be a little bit of a controversial opinion, but I really like the Supreme Pizza Roll. I don't know, it just blends everything together really well, and it just tastes really darn good.
Hey, I think the Supreme Pizza Roll, it's okay. It's definitely not all that. It's definitely a little bit overhyped, but it's still a pizza roll. Caleb, what's your favorite kind of pizza roll? I'm not sure if we've asked you that already.
You have not, but I gotta say that my favorite pizza roll here. Let me switch to the front cam. I would have to say that my favorite pizza roll is pretty basic, but it's definitely the original pepperoni.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't beat it.
Yeah, I can't go wrong with the original pepperoni. I had a box of those. Honestly, I don't know. I like both sausage and pepperoni pizza rolls. I like to keep it simple. Trying to remember what kind of pizza rolls these were. Yeah, these are pepperoni pizza rolls, or pepperoni and sausage pizza rolls. Wow, getting really fancy.
I just can't get on the whole 3-meat one. There's just like a weird flavor that goes on in it. But yeah, the pepperoni, the sausage, even the cheese is pretty good. But 3-meat is just not where it's at.
These are pretty dang good. Is there anyone here in chat who has never had pizza rolls? I think that's an important question to ask, because honestly, I didn't have pizza rolls up until a couple years ago. And now my life has changed knowing what a pizza roll tastes like. Yeah, there's definitely lots of flooding. I'm pretty sure what we're looking at here on Ryan Joel's stream is just a dark colored pavement and not a ton of flowing water, although it looks like there is definitely some water on there. But still, definitely not a good situation. Never had pizza rolls. Well, Caroline, it's time you change your life and experience pizza rolls. Haven't had any for a while. Well, time to get back on pizza rolls. We're going to go ahead and zoom out and take another run through of our severe weather, although it does not seem like it's gotten any more interesting. In fact, it's probably gotten less interesting and less concerning. Still have this cluster of storms down here near South Texas. In fact, a new severe thunderstorm warning was just issued here near Ozona, but it does not seem overly concerning, and these storms are only producing small hail. Hunter, come on now. For those of you who don't know who he's talking about earlier, I tweeted that someone had yelled out a car window that I was fat. And I'm very far from fat. In fact, I'm incredibly skinny. But I found that enjoyable. Hunter, what's your favorite kind of pizza roll? Ryan Hall is missing the party. Yeah, Ryan Hall's not much of a party, I know, I'm kidding. Ryan Hall is just a very, very busy man, and just like everyone else, he has to make time for his family once in a while, so I believe he is most likely having fun with his family right now. Coming back over to these storms, just to the southeast of Lubbock, we just had a report of 63-mile-an-hour winds, and they just issued a new severe thunderstorm warning right here. That's probably because of that 63-mile-an-hour wind gust that is above the severe thunderstorm threshold. And there are more considerable severe thunderstorm warnings behind that. And I believe these are 70-mile-an-hour winds. Yep, 70-mile-an-hour winds and quarter-sized hail. Back up here near Ryan, it looks like he is going to unfortunately lose his severe thunderstorm warning pretty soon. Classic pizza rolls, can't go wrong with the classic. It's the classic for a reason. Let's go ahead and ask Ryan for a more serious update on what he thinks about the severe threat for the rest of today. Hey Ryan, would you agree that we're probably going to see most of our storms start to weaken here pretty soon?
I do agree. It's all a linear mess right now, and I don't want to deal with a linear mess of that magnitude.
Yep, like Ryan said, what we have going on here is starting to form a line, aka linear garbage. Linear garbage is no fun for storm chasers, and that also means that there is going to be a waning hail threat because we mainly see large damaging hail from tall supercells. And once they go into a line, they tend to no longer produce that large hail. The tops drop a little bit, and it's no longer interesting. Wow, that is some really, really significant flooding on his feed there. Let's go ahead and switch to that. That is a lot of water for Texas, and it looks like the water is actually backed up and or almost overflowing the road there on the left side. Once again, guys, Ryan is right here. Caleb, I need to run to the bathroom real quick. You think you can cover for a couple of minutes? Talk about literally whatever you want. Pizza rolls, chicken taquitos, El Azul, anything.
Yeah, sorry, I just had to find my unmute button.
All
We'll talk
good.
about Ryan's stream if you leave it up here.
Alright, yep, I'll do that.
It's definitely the most interesting thing going on right now. It looks like, of course, as soon as he's doing this, he's coming back towards his car. But right now, what we're seeing here is obviously a large creek bed is what it looks like, has completely overflown just to the high volume of rain. It's obviously a significantly more low-lying area than anywhere else. So all the water from pretty much everywhere on this super hard ground, because Texas has been in such a drought for a while. It's going to make it extremely hard for any sort of water to be absorbed into the ground, so it's basically all just going to flow right over top of it. Imagine like taking a tarp that you have at your house, laying it on the ground, and just dumping a bucket of water on it. That is basically the equivalent situation of what we're seeing here on Ryan's stream right now, is because the ground is so unsaturated, like it's so dry, so hard, that when water just dumps on it, it literally flows like crazy. So it's all flowing into this creek. Nothing's getting absorbed by the earth, or not as quickly as it normally would be. And it's basically risen to the point now where it's overflowing the creeks. It's almost overflowing this bridge. I don't know how far exactly the water's come up, but that's definitely like we said earlier, definitely not something we would want to jump in and swim on. I mean, it's pretty murky. It looks like there's actually some debris that's caught on that fence there, and it's causing it almost as a dam. You can see that there's only 2 points of water flowage there. There's one right there, and then one on the other side that Ryan is looking at. And I wouldn't be surprised within the next, if Ryan stood here for probably maybe 5 or 10 more minutes, if we saw the road get covered. But I don't know that I would leave my car sitting there right now. Mr. Dibble is indeed fire, TJ, or TJB football. Mr. Dibble is one of the greatest out there, for sure. Somebody has entered the weather house. But honestly, beyond that, I don't really know that there's anything going on right now. In total, we have 32 warnings out. That's going to consist of flash floods and severes. But I believe at this point, we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 severe thunderstorm warnings out. So let's just take a gander. Nope, that is incorrect. We have 11. They're just all stacked on top of each other. There's 5 different areas where they have it severe warned. The most concerning right now is, let's take a look. I know you guys can't see, but we're gonna go for a gander here. Really, there's none of them. Up by Tulsa is basically getting drenched right now. Much of southern Oklahoma actually now has flash flood warnings out for the area. So that's going to include Ardmore, Sulphur, Paulus Valley, Mill Creek. I don't even know how to say this. Dixon, Wilson, Springer. There's a lot of places that I can't name up in there, but yeah.
Yes, indeed. Now, I'm assuming I know the answer to this question, but did I miss anything interesting?
No?
No? Why is it a question?
I don't know. Someone came into the weather house, but...
Ooh, who was it?
I don't know. They didn't come say hi.
That's sad.
So, that was going to be my interesting update, but...
Is it Ryan?
Never came.
Can we have a Ryan?
I think it might have been Echo.
Echo?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if there's an Echo, then there has to be a Ryan, right?
No, he's pretty independent.
He took the golf cart up by himself?
Yeah, probably.
You're a subscriber of Ryan, Andy, and I, and have never had pizza rolls? Well, I bet Andy and Ryan and me all want you to have pizza rolls. Actually,
Ryan probably doesn't want that.
yeah, I was gonna say
Ryan's
pizza
on a
rolls
hot kick.
seem like the kind of thing that would like almost kill Ryan. Obviously,
Yeah,
I'm
Ryan's
saying that
not
as a
a-
joke, guys, but Ryan is like, that man just has issues with certain foods, and pizza rolls sound like they would be the end of him. If that was Echo, it'd be kind of funny if bro just like walked in.
Just him? Like nobody
Mhm.
else, just Echo? That would be very funny.
Maybe we should peer pressure Ryan into making an appearance on our stream. You think we could do that?
You could probably make him have an appearance on the stream.
I'll tag him in Discord, guys, and see if we can peer pressure him. Alright guys, we're going to see if we can get Ryan to come here to chill with us, because that would be funny and enjoyable. This is the most important thing that has happened today, guys. The Minnesota Twins won 2 playoff games. This means they're moving on in the playoffs, and I've been a Twins fan my whole life, and I have never once seen the Twins win a playoff game And in the last 2 days, they have won 2 playoff games, and now they're moving on in the MLB playoffs. So, W's in chat for the Minnesota Twins for not falling for the regular we're a Minnesota sports team and are terrible at our jobs curse. Who was it, Caleb? Did you find out? Looks like he'll be back here in a second.
Nope. There was nobody here, but the alarm definitely went beep, beep, beep. And then I heard what
Front
sounded like...
door open.
Yeah, what sounded like a demon. I'm just kidding.
The weather house
kidding.
is, in fact, haunted, guys.
It sounded like a small child making giggle sounds. And then I heard the garage door open, the garage door closed, the front door open, the front door closed, and that was it.
That definitely sounds like it was Echo. Hopefully, either that or the weather house is possessed.
Maybe. It's possible. Maybe there's going to be a video about that coming up on my YouTube channel.
An inside the tour, or an inside the weather house tour of how haunted it is.
Exactly. Pikeville's the most haunted community in all of Kentucky.
Come on, Amber. You can't be excited for me. You're going to be giving me L's. Caleb, you missed it, but the Minnesota Twins won 2 playoff games for the first time since I've been born.
I did hear that because you can hear everything from inside this office. It goes through the vents.
Mm-hmm. It goes through the vents along with every single cable you could possibly imagine. I mean, we can see that on Caleb's stream there. There is a cable or 2 falling out of the vent. Just 1, maybe 2. Okay, I lied. There's actually 3, guys. But yeah.
Maybe 43, but we don't judge here.
No, we don't judge. Judging is bad.
We just judge storms.
Mm-hmm. And we're judging storms heavily when we say, wow, stream starting, nice. Click the wrong button there. We are judging storms heavily when we say they are boring, because these storms are boring. But we're having fun nonetheless.
Yeah, I definitely think that the likelihood of any sort of tornado threat at this point is pretty much completely diminished. Yeah, I don't even think the likelihood of seeing a spin-up tornado, maybe in like far southwest Texas, down by like Iran, Fort Stockton, obviously east of there, but that might be like the only spot. And maybe down like the southern side of that really large rain system that we're seeing go between kind of Abilene area and Oklahoma City. But beyond that, I don't see any possibility of a tornado anywhere on this system.
Yep, and if Caleb's word wasn't enough, which it should be, the Storm Prediction Center has issued a new mesoscale discussion number 2233, and they are noting that the threat for very large hail and damaging wind gusts will continue for at least the next few hours. Now, what this means is there is no threat for tornadoes at all, because if there was even the smallest threat for tornadoes, they would have noted it somewhere. But they're basically saying that it's all just convection occurring along our cold front that we are seeing. And other than that, there is no really interesting storms. There are a few supercells further to the south where our environment is still more favorable. So this is going to be our main hail producers. Obviously, or I guess our main big hail producers. There's still going to be some small hail with our QLCS system that is forming. But where we see supercells down here in the south, that will still continue to be our only threat for damaging hail, and large damaging hail. But that doesn't mean this is done yet. Unlike my pizza rolls, we finished those a long time ago, unfortunately. But we'll stick around here for at least another while, because, hey, what else do we have to do? If you guys are here, you're probably just like me, and there's not much else to do. The only other thing I have to look forward to today is, after the stream, going to my girlfriend's house.
Wow.
Yeah, In your mind, what was the biggest surprise 2%? I think the biggest surprise tornado in a 2% was that the one Nebraska wedge. I can't remember the day, but there was a crazy wedge on a 2% day because Nebraska 2% like to produce crazy photogenic tornadoes. Caleb, what do you think the craziest tornado on a 2% day was?
Probably that Nebraska tornado earlier this year,
Yeah.
or the ones that hit Wisconsin earlier this year. They were
Mhm.
pretty photogenic.
Yeah, that and probably the ones that hit Wisconsin on a less than 2% day. Those were interesting just because there was there was no chance of tornadoes as noted by the SPC. It was literally a general thunderstorm risk. And we ended up having a strong line of thunderstorms form, and there were multiple spin-up tornadoes. Hunter, you are in fact not my girlfriend. You are only my loyal Coke provider. And I'm not talking about the Coke drug. Hunter works at a Pepsi Cola dealership, and he is a certified forklift operator as well as a storm chaser. It looks like
think it's called a dealership.
a dealership. Yeah, not a Coke dealership, a distribution center. I mean, I guess dealership works too. Don't you need to study? Hey, I have plenty of time to study, and that's why I don't produce more content than I already do. It's because
every part of that you got wrong.
oh, there's Hunter making fun of me on Zello, saying I got every part of that wrong. Well,
So there
then why
was-
don't you correct me, Hunter? What did I get wrong?
Coke is not owned by Pepsi.
Yeah, you called it Coke.
Oh, I
owned by
called it
Coca-Cola.
Pepsi Cola. Yeah.
And I do not drive forklifts, although that would be pretty fun.
Yeah, so we got literally everything I said wrong. That is probably the first time I have ever been wrong in my entire life. So you guys can say you were here for it. Caleb, what were you going to say?
There actually was one interesting thing that came out of this setup today.
What was that?
And believe it or not, down by Roby, Texas, Roby, Roby, which is to the northwest of Abilene, just north of Sweetwater. Probably one of the craziest haboobs I have ever seen, and you can actually barely see it on satellite. I believe that it was there just looking at a video that I'm watching. Completely clear skies, so I'm assuming that's what we're seeing on satellite in this like very front line. But it's gotten too dark now to actually be able to see anything of any quality. But it's pretty cool that it was so dry. All the wind that was on this system basically picked up all that dust and built this huge wall of just brown dirt. And I've retweeted that. I'm sure Riley can retweet that so you guys can check that out.
Yes, I will go ahead and retweet that real quick. I'm assuming we can't show it because storm chasers like to gatekeep their content, so we are unable to show that. But I will retweet it, and you guys can go over to my Twitter and take a look at that for yourself. And while we're at it, I'm going to go ahead and post a link in the chat to Caleb's Twitter. You guys should follow that because Caleb is an amazing person, and he tweets this stuff as well. Also, if you guys ever want me to see something weather-wise, whether it's a video or anything else, if you tag me on Twitter, I will see that because I spend a lot of time scrolling endlessly on Twitter. It is my version of TikTok, and I'm always on there. And if you guys ever want to chat outside of streams, shoot me a DM on Twitter and we can talk there.
Yeah.
Looks like I just got tagged on Twitter. Hunter is being the G that he always is and promoting our stream. Hunter, are you still here? Because if he is not chasing, we could potentially have him come join us here. Let me go ahead and ask him on Zello. Hey Hunter, are you chasing or what are you up to? Oh, you're already talking to me.
No, I decided not to chase today.
Oh. If you're at home and you want to join Caleb and I in the call and on stream, go ahead and join the Storm Chaser VC and I'll drag you in here to participate in some shenanigans. Alright, we'll see if he is interested, and here he is, guys. Alright, now he's in the call. Hunter, say hi and welcome to the shenanigans. I guess he doesn't want to say hi, or his mic's not working, one of the two.
No, I didn't realize it was on push to talk.
Oh, is push to talk on in this channel?
Nope.
Yeah, or for me it is at least.
Oh, well that's annoying. I wonder if I can change that. It doesn't look like I can change that. Oh well, it sounds like you're gonna have to push to talk. I am sorry about that, because that is annoying.
Nope, I fixed it. My settings were just messed up.
Go
All right,
figure.
well,
yeah.
Since there's no real severe weather happening, let's initiate the first ever Riley Dibble podcast live.
Ah, yes, the good old there's no weather, so let's talk about anything else. What is your plan, Kale? You can be the great moderator of this podcast. What's our decisions for this beautiful podcast?
Well, first, I just want to hear. I know lots of people probably aren't super familiar with Hunter. He's pretty new to Ryan's team as far as a chaser. I think he's only been on like 4 or 5 streams. So let's hear what got Hunter into storm chasing.
I've sort of just been a avid weather enthusiast for several years now. What really got me into weather was the 2019 Linwood Lawrence EF4 tornado here in Kansas. That sort of piqued my interest, and I'm not too sure what it was about this year or 2022 that got me into chasing. I actually think I saw a Ryan Hall stream that prompted me to join the Discord. I eventually did my first real storm chase on June. It was a 5% right over my house. Saw an EF2 tornado. And from there, met Ryan Scholl, chased with him a few times. And that sort of leads us up to here. I've just been chasing ever since, got to know the people within the community, and been having a blast while doing it.
Hunter, an important question for chat to build on that. What is your favorite kind of pizza roll? I believe we've already polled you in chat, but we need to poll you again.
You know, you gotta stick with the classic. You can't get much better than that. Although I heard people before talk about a Takis pizza roll.
Ooh.
I didn't even know Takis made a pizza roll.
What?
So I'm gonna have to try that out.
What? No, there is not. You're crazy.
Nah, there's seriously a Takis pizza roll.
I need that. Yo, we have Ryan Scholl in chat. He is our loyal storm chaser. Ryan, if you want to participate in the Discord shenanigans as well and take part in this podcast, go ahead and join the Chaser VC and participate. Also, guys, I'm not sure if you saw that Amber just said the combination pizza roll is the best. That means that any other opinion is now invalid, and the combination pizza roll is in fact the best.
Okay, believe it or not, there is a FaZe Clan pizza roll.
A FaZe Clan pizza roll.
There, Caleb. I sent it to you on Discord. They're technically not pizza rolls. They're chili lime mini snack bites, but they're pretty much like pizza rolls.
No, we can't have
That
pizza roll.
That would be like
no,
saying
they're not. They're made by the same company. We'll
Oh.
allow it.
We'll allow that. Guys, did you expect to see a pizza roll stream here today? Or did we expect to see a weather stream? It's funny how we have all of this set up to talk about weather, and then we end up talking about literally everything besides weather every single time.
We even have a
Yep,
live
pretty
stream, you
much.
know. Thanks, Ryan, for providing the live stream.
Yeah. We love Ryan.
You know, the funny thing was yesterday, we had like all the StormQuest members together in southern Kansas. and we made the joke that Ryan was going to be the only one out of all of us that entire day to see a tornado. And we were surely just trying to joke around on it, but okay, wow, that sort of came into fruition.
Yeah. Actually, this might be the most important thing we've had to talk about today. Taking a look at our mesoscale place file right here. I'm not going to say what this looks like. I'm just going to let you guys use your imagination. But
Oh, that's really nice looking.
yes, that's probably the nicest cluster of storms we have seen here today. PBS Pizza Bite stream, yeah. My title is probably a little misleading, and people are probably getting a little concerned and clicking off this stream as soon as they click it. And we're talking about pizza rolls, but they don't need to have fun if they don't want to.
That's gonna go in the group chat.
All right. Well, here's the situation: is if we start this right here, right now, we can turn this into the first official episode of the Riley Dibble podcast. And we can just cut it right out of the live stream.
Yeah, are we gonna have a Riley Dibble podcast right here?
Right here, right now, the Riley Dibble podcast.
Yeah, why
Featuring
not?
Hunter.
Featuring Hunter, yeah. So yeah,
All
chat,
right,
if you have questions, we'll let Caleb ask questions here in a second, because I'm sure he's got plenty of them, as I'm a very mysterious individual. But if you have questions on anything at all, whether that is weather or how I am now a zombie because of 5G coursing through my veins after an EAS alert. I'm kidding. Ask them, because, hey, we got time here.
And I will keep my eye on the chat and add them to my list of questions. But the first couple of questions we have are very storm related, because that's what a lot of people are here for, is weather related stuff. So, question number 1, can you share some of your favorite storm chasing stories and experiences, including encounters with tornadoes or extreme weather phenomenons? In
All
case
right.
you're wondering, this is directly from ChatGPT.
I was about to ask, are these ChatGPT questions? Because I recognize that format as a loyal user of ChatGPT. I think my favorite memories of storm chasing are, of course, the memories on 331. That was our high risk, where I had decided about 4 days in advance that I was, instead of helping Ryan with the live stream, that I was going to chase. And he gave me the A-OK to do that. And then about 3/4 of the way to our target area, they issued a high risk, and I felt very, very guilty that I was not there. But nonetheless, I storm chased that day with a few other friends, a few of my friends. Luke Hatton was there, Parker was there. There was one other person there, but I can't think of his name right now. It was Charlie. And we were the only 3 people on a storm that produced a wedge. Unfortunately, it was not the wedge that many of you probably know that happened in Iowa in Kyoto, perhaps one of the most photogenic tornadoes of all time. But it was a different scraggly wedge. And then, so we chased that, and that was fun. But then my first memory storm chasing was just a couple of years ago. I was in my old car. I had a red 2005 Malibu Max. And I had lightning strike about 10 feet away from my car while I was outside of it. So I quickly hopped back in my car and left, because lightning is scary and unpredictable.
Yeah, I distinctly remember that day as well. The Kyoto. I was actually on the Kyoto tornado, and that was my very first ever live stream for Ryan Hall.
Hey, that's a pretty good first live stream.
It was a pretty good first live stream. Ryan, I was like down in, if I looked at a map, I could tell you what city I was in, but I was south of it by about like 10 miles. And Ryan's like, hey, like, we see where you're at. This cell to the north of you is really starting to wrap up. So I gun it north, and literally as soon as I get there, it's like dropping. And as a storm chaser, especially one that like relies on their live feed to be up, the worst feeling in the world is knowing that you have no cell signal. Like, I pull up, I see this tornado. It's the most photogenic tornado I've probably ever seen in my life. Like most really nice tornadoes that I've been on have been at night. So when I saw this one, it was like daytime, amazing. I'm staring at it. I'm like, Ryan, look at this. And Ryan's like, I don't have your live stream, Caleb. I can't see anything. And at that point, I was just like so devastated.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure I remember that too because we had a live stream up also and we saw a tornado. And of course, there was no cell service because tornadoes are just drawn to cell service dead zones or something.
Yep, that's why we use Starlink on our vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
Hunter.
Do you have a picture of the Suburban that you can pull up while we're answering the next question?
I can pull up the one that we took today with the Suburban and the truck in it.
Yeah, that's cool. We'll share more of Ryan's secrets. Actually, I have that in office chat.
Now, Caleb, how close were you during Kyoto? Because I was also on that tornado too, but I didn't get necessarily too close. I sort of stayed farther away for wider shots of it.
So I got to it. I don't know if you guys know. I don't want to use any names just because I don't want to upset anybody. But there were two specific storm chasers that are very well known. This clip of this storm chaser went viral because he got very, very close to the tornado. And I was probably 300 yards behind them on that dirt road.
I know the exact clip you're talking about.
Yeah, I want to say most of the chat would probably know about that clip.
Yeah, I just didn't want to mention them on stream because
I say the closest I've ever been to a tornado was definitely Spalding. I was thankfully lucky enough to get as close as I did to that tornado and actually watch Dom 3 go inside of it. I mean, that was probably one of the more exciting moments in my storm chasing career was to see Dom 3 actually make an intercept.
Yeah, that would be super cool. I missed that chase. I mean, I missed it for a good reason. We were down in not Kansas, in Oklahoma City doing a Y'all Squad mission, so it was a fair reason for missing it. But man, I was devastated that I missed that storm. That was one of the best tornadoes.
I almost missed that storm because I had left my wallet at home that day.
I remember this. Yeah.
I was messaging the group chat that we had about that. I had made it up to the Iowa border, and I had started to turn around to go home. But then I realized that I had Google Pay on my phone, and that I could just pay for gas and food off my phone.
Mm-hmm.
So I thankfully got the tornado from birth till death. So that
awesome.
was
my biggest problem, like that I've always faced when I go out and chase. And I don't know if you guys have experienced this as well, but like the biggest thing, especially if anyone in the chat like really wants to get into storm chasing, this is something to keep in mind, is capturing content. Not enough storm chasers. There's very few. Like Freddie McKinney, phenomenal at capturing content. He makes that his main priority, and his live streams are second. Mark Payton vlogs. He's another one that like prioritizes capturing content and not necessarily live streaming. Most of us focus on our live stream. We're always so like hyper focused on that that we miss out on a lot of really good, like high quality content that is actually what's going to promote channels and benefit us in the long run, because like YouTube videos are what people want to watch. Most people are not going to sit back and watch 8 hours of live stream when there's only 30 seconds of tornado in there. But if you can have like 8 minutes of like really good footage of you like going through your day, tornado, it's intense. Post tornado, you talk about it, video ends versus like a 3-hour live stream. It's definitely the way to do it. If you can tell a story with your storm chase, you're going to be successful with it. But if you don't tell a story, you're honestly just going to suck.
Yeah. And I mean, the one thing I'm going to add to that is part of what we have here with our vehicles is our, I believe we're eventually going to make the truck into this, but we have a bunch of cameras all over this, so we're capturing all angles of every single storm chase in the highest quality we can. So then we have the ability to go back and make a bunch of content no matter where the tornado occurred or what we were doing at that time. Just having that raw video is the most important thing content-wise, and not a lot of people have perfected that aspect of storm chasing.
Are you guys going to do a PTZ, or are you just going to set up GoPros?
So on the Suburban currently, we have 4 Insta360s, one on each side.
Yeah.
So that's actually what I'm using here for my camera in the front and the back. It's the exact same cameras. Actually, the one that we're using right now is out of the Suburban because the one that we had inside just stopped working. The truck's going to actually be a little bit different. It's something that we're going to try. I think we're going to end up putting waterproof cameras on the outside. There's this company that makes like 4K waterproof cameras that have HDMI outputs that are like clean HDMI outputs so that we don't have like windows in the way, windshield wipers in the way, things like that. So all the cameras are going to be mounted on the external part of the vehicle so that we can get the best footage possible. And then obviously we'll have GoPros and then like a Sony DSLR to capture kind of vlog style content and tornadoes.
We love tornadoes.
And then probes, of course. We'll have 3
Mhm.
probes in the back to start out. We're going to put a Starlink roam dish on top, Speedify. There will probably be a drone, a Blackmagic switcher in there. And I imagine the whole system will be powered by some sort of Mac because we love Mac here at the Weather House.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot more than you guys think that goes into us thinking out these vehicles. Like, we spend literal months making all of this stuff custom and just trying to keep a signal up for a live stream, especially in the more rural areas, is nearly impossible. But we had our first successful sort of stream in the Suburban a couple of months ago in Kentucky, where we were able to keep a 1080p feed up for almost the entire time we were live in the mountains of Kentucky, which if you guys have been to Kentucky, you know there's nothing out there for cell service. But just combining the connections of Starlink and cell service and anything else we could get together, we were able to keep a feed up, and that's really, really challenging to do.
Yeah, and I think so. I don't want to give too much information here,
Mhm.
but I can tell you that as we build the truck out, there is going to be a YouTube channel. It's not currently a YouTube channel that is super well known. Wink, wink. But there will be a YouTube channel that will be documenting this entire process, as well as in the future, probably this fall at some point, going out and chasing in that vehicle. It will all be on the same YouTube channel. So if you guys want to see that content of what's going on in the truck, stuff about the probes, and actually storm chasing in the truck, there's going to be a channel. Well, the channel already exists, and the channel may or may not have typed in this chat at some point tonight.
Yeah, yeah.
Subscribe to it.
Yeah, it may or may not be a channel of an individual who has been helping us from Kentucky. His name may or may not be Caleb, and you should go subscribe to that channel.
Yeah, we're almost we're halfway to 700 subscribers. Crazy enough, actually, last night I was talking to Riley post stream because obviously YouTube has like a whole bunch of monetization things, and we were talking about that, and I was like, yeah, I just broke like 500 subscribers like a couple of days ago, and now we're at like 600 and something. Between a tweet from yesterday and a tweet today that I put out, we've gained 140 subscribers almost. So the road to 1,000 is there.
Yeah, and we really want to get Caleb to 1,000 subscribers because Caleb and I are actually in exact opposite situations here. The reason my channel is not yet monetized is because I don't have enough watch hours. And Caleb has the exact opposite, where he doesn't have enough subscribers. And if you're kind of new to YouTube or you haven't heard of what goes on behind it, the whole reason why it's important to get monetized is that's how, when we do things like this, YouTube will give us money for doing that. And I hate like saying, hey, we need money, but money makes the world go round, and if we can get money just by sitting here and having fun with you, that means that we will be able to produce better content for you in the future. And I think the most important thing with YouTube is taking what you earn from it and putting it back into your content, and that's what we all want to do. But unfortunately, everything that we are doing here right now is pretty much, it's just funded by right out of our pockets.
Sweet. Well, I'm going to ask Hunter a question now because I feel like he hasn't talked in a while. But, what I just saw it, but I don't know where it went. I lost it. Oh. How do you balance your passion for storm chasing with safety, responsibility, and especially dealing with the unpredictableness of a weather event? So, like, obviously keeping yourself safe while you're out in the field.
I'm just gonna say you've got to have a great sense of self-awareness for you and people around you. I mean, obviously you're playing a gamble every time you go out and chase. We've seen how that has played out this year with how many storm chasers we've seen get hurt. I myself I'm no exception. I totaled my first car this year by running into a deer. Just a couple weeks ago, my windshield got busted from hail in Oklahoma. But you can easily prevent a lot of this, or help prevent a lot of this, just by having really good self-awareness, staying safe,
Situational awareness.
Yeah, situational. I'm sorry, situational awareness. But it's as simple as just don't be stupid. That's all it boils down to.
Yeah, and I mean you're chasing after nature's most dangerous spectacle. Like, it's just inherently dangerous, and there's so many split-second decisions that you need to make, and I don't think enough people chase safely because they're like, oh, I want to get really close to that. That's just really not a good idea. Like, you don't want to be close to this, and most of the time, if it's something that's actually worth getting close to, it's going to look better from a couple miles away anyways, where you get those wide shots of these beautiful storms with a super photogenic tornado underneath it. Like, unless you're a Reed Timmer and you're trying to drive into these to get scientific data, you don't need to be within a mile or two of these tornadoes.
See, that's sort of how I felt with Yuma, is that as soon as I got close to it, we started hearing reports of giant hail falling, so I decided to get a far back approach from it, and that's where my picture of this long, slinky tornado came into play, and that was an extremely risky, but an extremely rewarding storm chase.
Yeah, and for those of you who might not be familiar with what Yuma was, Yuma occurred, I think, around a month ago now, but it was this super photogenic tornado, possibly one of the craziest tornadoes we've seen all year, and Hunter was lucky enough to be on that when it was happening, and Ryan Scholl was there also, I believe.
Ryan got some of the best live stream footage of that tornado I've ever seen.
Yeah,
His stream from that storm was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It was phenomenal.
Yeah, Ryan always manages to get some of the greatest storm chasing content.
Which we've seen firsthand how massive Ryan's Twitter has grown this year, just from his straight up dedication and hard work to chasing. I mean, you guys already know him and I are going to be moving in with each other in 10 days from now. So expect a lot more of me to be on his streams and vice versa, because we're going to be chasing together a lot more now that we're going to be moving in together.
Yeah, and I hope that we can continue to have Ryan here on our stream, because he, without a doubt, provides some of the best content. And now that Hunter's there, like, it's just a win-win. Like, imagine the godly partnership we can strike between this meme of a weather channel and the two crazy individuals that Hunter and Ryan are.
Soon you might have me back out in the field too, chasing this.
Yeah, we're gonna have everyone here. This is gonna be the place to be.
If we had got the truck like 3 weeks ago, right, I would have been out in the field. Two enhanced days in a row. I would have definitely got out to chase this.
Yeah,
in
right?
October, nonetheless. October.
I know we're not even back. We're not even the peak of second season yet.
Nope.
Mm-hmm. And for those of you who don't know what second season is, that's when we go through the transitional phase from summer to winter, and we see our polar jet stream become a little more unstable, resulting in more troughs, and of course, troughs trigger severe weather.
Right, and I think this year, and I think Riley actually mentioned this either yesterday or in a video recently. I think this year we're going to not see as many outbreaks, or not. Let me rephrase that: not as many events, like days consecutively in a row, that will have severe weather. But I think that the events that we do see are going to be a little more significant. I think that they're going to be slightly faster moving troughs, so they're not going to linger around for as long, and there's going to be significantly less of them. But I think we're going to just see more significant. That's my personal synopsis and prediction of winter or second season for tornadoes this year.
Yeah, I believe we said that yesterday. Hunter, what were you going to say?
Yeah, I agree with that. I believe it's going to be one of those years where it's going to be you don't have many too many systems, but when you get systems, they're going to be pretty big smacking systems.
Yep. I have a feeling we're going to see another kind of scenario like 2021, where we just had severe weather right up until Christmas, and then even into January. Like we had Mayfield on the 12th, on the 10th, the 15th, we saw tornadoes in Minnesota and Wisconsin. And
Then
then
on
what was it, January 10th?
January
12th, something like
1st, we
that.
had that outbreak in the Ohio Valley.
Yeah, and then January 12th, we had Winterset, Iowa. So like it just didn't stop that year.
Oh my
And then
gosh, was Winterset
2022
really
was
on
just,
a January date?
yeah, I think Winterset was January.
Here's actually something I'm noting just looking at radar. It looks like we may have some tornado potential coming up here pretty soon. I'm taking a look at this storm near Leonard and Wolf City. It just became a right mover and has split. So what this means is this storm may be attempting to become surface based, and it looks like there may be some weak rotation. So we'll keep an eye on that as we continue our podcast here.
Oh, not to mention the new MCD for Dallas as well.
When was that?
This was
Oh, just now.
just issued, yeah, a while ago or a few minutes ago. 80% watch probabilities. Just mentioning an upscale growth for for damaging wind and large hail still.
Yep. And I think this is going to be. They didn't mention it in the most recent mesoscale discussion, which we have up here. But this is the last really chance we have to see for any tornado potential. It would pretty much be this storm, and then everything's going to get caught up to by our cold front, and it's all going to be an elevated line.
Yep, pretty much. All right, I have another question for you.
Go ahead.
This is more directed at Hunter because Hunter's storm chasing more. But aside from becoming a full-time chaser, which is everyone's dream, is being a storm chaser, what is your future goals and aspirations as a storm chaser?
You see, I've really haven't thought about my future goals and aspirations to a storm chase career or anything like that. I just want to keep what I'm doing now, just chasing storms as a hobby. I don't necessarily do it for content creation or for money. I just do it to have fun and to meet people.
I mean,
Fair
hey,
enough.
that's pretty much what I think a lot of us part-time chasers do is, hey, how many people can I go have a good time with and maybe see a couple of tornadoes?
Mm-hmm. I think that's a big portion of the community,
Mhm.
which is super awesome. Like, I couldn't imagine a lot of the chasers that chase these days just going out and chasing by themselves. Like, first of all, if you put 4 people on it, say we have 100 people that want to chase, and half of those people are in cars of 4, that significantly cuts down on the amount of cars on the road, which, for those of you that aren't storm chasers, is a really big deal. Like, the amount of cars that are on the road when people are out chasing creates a very real risk of like traffic jams from one stop sign. You can have huge traffic jams, and if there's a tornado on the ground, like the last thing you need is a traffic jam in the middle of Kansas, like remote area.
Caleb, you weren't on Clovis this year, were you?
For which?
For any of the Clovis storms in May, were you on any of those?
I think so. I think it was on 1 or 2 of them.
I know the one that produced the PDS tornado warning. We had parked on the side of the road and we looked back, and it was at least 100 storm chasing vehicles just coming down that road. And that was my first ever experience with major chaser convergence. And it was just so surreal to see everybody on the same storm having such a great time, just taking all of Mother Nature's fierce, and just gazing at it.
It's definitely a scary situation, though. Like, I personally hate chaser convergence. So, like, this year I made the switch from a truck to a car. As you guys, if you watch Ryan's stream, you probably know that I chased in a Taurus because I showed it a lot on stream. But the transition between the truck to the car was a big deal for me because, like, before in the truck, I could avoid all chaser convergence because I wasn't afraid to just go off road, right? because like gravel roads, whatever, that's nothing. You're in a pickup truck, you can still drive 50 down a gravel road and it not be a problem. Doing that in a Taurus is not the same situation. You can probably go 20, and like going 20, it feels like you're riding on a horse, and it's just like you're bouncing up and down everywhere you're going. So like you have to hang out in that chaser convergence, and that was like one thing that I absolutely hated. I hate being around 300. Like it's fun, really, like before the storm. It's fun after the storm to meet up with chasers. It's fun to meet up with chasers when nothing's happening. But for me, like I get so hyper focused on like what the storm's doing, because if I'm not focused on what the storm's doing, I'm gonna put myself in a bad position. And once you get caught up in like this line of cars, then you're focused on traffic and what traffic's doing around you, and you're more focused on what other chasers are doing, because unfortunately there's a lot of them that are just really bad drivers. Like
Oh,
the
I
amount
don't
of
even want to get started on that one.
Yeah,
I've had my fair share of experience with chasers exhibiting bad driving habits.
Yeah.
like for instance, like I will never gripe at somebody. There's a time and a place to drive a little bit more aggressively than just like your casual chase. If you're literally just following a storm that's producing hail, there's no reason that you should be going 90 mile an hour down the road. But if there is like a legitimate like life or death situation where you could get hit by a tornado, I don't care. Like if I'm going too slow, go around me. But like I'm not gonna be mad at you because I get it. Like something's happening. But like don't drive 45 if there's a tornado coming up behind us at 65 mile an hour.
Yeah, and I mean, the other thing I'm going to add to that is a lot of storm chasers, I'm not going to name any in particular, but just a generalized comment that there's a lot of them who overfixate on radar when they're storm chasing.
A new PDS
I just
severe
wanna
thunderstorm
interrupt you here
warning
really
has
quick,
been
Ryan.
issued.
We just got a PDS severe thunderstorm warning
All right,
for Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, I'm assuming that's going to be up here to the north, mostly wind-driven. All right, so we're
You're
going to
gonna get
pause
it on
that
your
thought.
screen in a second.
Yep, I got it here.
Tulsa.
Yep, we're gonna pause this thought here to bring you this. I don't think, yeah, no, that is Tulsa, or it's just east of Tulsa. Hunter, this is actually where you are, isn't it? Or close to?
I'm in Kansas City.
Oh,
That's a whale.
I thought you were in Tulsa for some reason, but
No, I
yeah.
live in Kansas City.
Yeah, we should probably interrupt the podcast to cover this. This is 80 mile per hour wind. So if you are in the Tulsa area right now, there are tornado warning sirens, or there are tornado sirens going off right now. And this is because this is a destructive severe thunderstorm warning. This is a particularly dangerous situation. This thunderstorm, these straight line winds, will be just as strong, if not stronger, than some tornadoes. So people in Catoosa, Fair Oaks, Gregory, Enola, not going to try and say that now name either of these. If you see your name here, go to your basement. You do not want to be upstairs or near any windows or glass. If you don't have a basement, go to the most interior room of your house. This is a very, very serious situation. And it looks like this storm is probably going to continue on for at least some time, so I would not be surprised if we see another destructive severe thunderstorm warning downstream of this. So if you are anywhere east of this box right now, I would be preparing for a very strong thunderstorm. Obviously, this is a highly populated area. So take this seriously. Please just don't mess around. It's not funny. It's not something you should go outside and try and see. There will be very significant damage from the storm. I would not be surprised if we see quite a few power outages, because we are going to see trees fall on power lines. All right, well, we'll leave this here and we'll go back to what we were talking about with thunderstorms, or not thunderstorms, storm chasing, because there's really not much more to talk about right now on this, but we do need to keep an eye on it. However, back to storm chasing, distracted driving, and what I was saying is a lot of storm chasers have an over dependency on radar. Now what that means is they are driving distracted, And if you've storm chased before, and I'm sure Hunter and Caleb probably have a lot of stories of this, there's just a lot of clueless people out there because they don't really know where they're going or what they're trying to do. They just have their eyes down on a screen and they're not watching the road.
Yeah, I
Oh.
completely agree. I think that if you can't just be thrown out into an area, like imagine you're on an airplane, you're blindfolded. And this is a really extreme scenario, but you're on an airplane and you're blindfolded, and you get parachuted with your car, no phone, no nothing. You get parachuted with your car out of the airplane, and you're just dropped in the middle of the road somewhere in Kansas, somewhere in Oklahoma, whatever, wherever you are, doesn't matter. And there's a supercell there. You should be able to look at that supercell and be able to determine what it's going to do before you're trying to get right up close underneath it to be able to be like, I'm going to 0 meter a tornado. If you can't understand storm motion and like a storm recycling or a hook handoff, and you can't visually tell that that's happening in person on camera, or not on camera, visually happening, like staring at the storm, like if you can't tell that there's clearly another mesocyclone being created to the southern part of this storm, or there's a new wall cloud developing, if you can't look at a storm and be able to determine that, you should be like 10 miles away from the storm and be taking photos of structure or trying to team up with another chaser that knows what they're doing.
Yeah. Hunter, were you going to add something to that?
I totally agree with Caleb. If you're a storm chaser, you need to be able to identify all aspects of a supercell. And another thing that I really ran into lately that I seem to be a big issue is people will purposely just try to follow your more well-known / famous storm chasers. Yesterday, for example, Dominator 3 parked right behind me at an intersection, and I'd say at least 11 or so cars showed up just following him. And I know that's been a giant issue lately ever since they brought that vehicle back in. Is just chasers who really don't have any experience at all chasing, but just want to be there to see that vehicle, just follow it, stalk it nonstop.
Yeah, I know when they first brought it back on the road, they were doing like a really good job. Like they had Brian Allen, they had Jaden Papamon, I think that's how you say his last name.
Pappenheim.
Yeah, and then who else?
Brennan Montgomery.
Brandon Montgomery,
Jordan
and myself,
Hall, and Sierra too, I think.
The four of us total ran convergence for the Dominator for the first 5 chases that it was out on the road. And it went really well. Like we were able to intentionally create gaps between the vehicle because like people wanted to follow it, but like it made it so that it deterred people because like we could just create so much space between them and like other chasers that other chasers were just getting mad. But like that vehicle is trying to drive into a tornado. You don't want to be right on their bumper. That's the worst thing you could possibly do. Like, what was the tornado in the tornado in Nebraska that they intercepted? There were literally chasers that passed Reed and in the Dominator after they stopped to deploy, and they drove into the tornado.
Well, not only that, if you guys remember the Linneus Linneus, Missouri EF2 tornado, there were dozens of chasers trying to follow Dominator into that storm when it was pitch black and no one could really see where the tornado was either. Like you're playing an extremely risky and stupid game by following them into these rather more destructive storms. Like yesterday, when people were following them into an apple-sized severe warning storm, I guarantee you someone had to have gotten their windshield busted because of that.
Oh, absolutely.
And I mean, that goes further than just like the Dominator 2 is like there's a few bigger names, and I was chasing with Brandon this year, and we were both streaming, and we had like 15 or 16 cars just following us. And when we get into a situation where we need to turn around, trying to turn around with 16 cars on the road is nearly impossible. Like, don't follow these big name chasers. They don't like it, and it's really like you're not going to see something being with them that you wouldn't see if you just know how to chase yourself.
Yeah, that's the one thing, like, especially driving a vehicle for Ryan to chase storms. that's slightly concerning for me. Like honestly, like chasing at all, like or chasing doesn't bother me. Driving any vehicle, but like just because so many people are gonna know what this vehicle looks like, it would be no different than like if the Storm Seeker was being driven, or Brandon or Vince or the Dominators or the Tiv or like a Fox vehicle. Like all of them are so distinctable and distinguishable when they're out on the road. You can just be like, oh, I know who this person is. We should go and follow them because they probably know what they're doing because they're big names and they like have funding. Which following us might not be the best idea because we're going to choose to go to spots that probably you shouldn't be in. Like, for instance, Dom 3 is going to try and go into a tornado. We're going to be trying to deploy probes in front of tornadoes. So we're going to be getting fairly close to them at some point once we have our whole like probe deployment system down pat. So like sticking right behind a storm chaser, just in general, in any situation, whether they're experienced or not, especially if you're not a storm chaser, nobody should follow storm chasers in general.
Yep. Speaking of storm chasers, it seems like Ryan Scholl is done for the day.
Yeah, I think the threat in general is pretty much done for the day.
Mm-hmm. But, I mean, we can stick around here at least a little bit longer, because there's
Still
not
a bit of weather going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
I'll have to jump off here in about a half hour because I got to go pack to go to Canada. I got some videos to edit tomorrow, and then once I'm done work, I'm going to Canada for the weekend.
New severe thunderstorm watch has been issued for the Dallas Metro and south of Dallas. A couple of tornadoes possible, scattered hail up to 2 inches possible, and 70-mile-an-hour gusts are possible.
Right. Thank you, Hunter. We're going to go ahead and pull up the graphic on that severe thunderstorm watch. I almost clicked the one in Spanish. I don't think a lot of us here speak Spanish, so that wouldn't be very helpful. Oh, that's my entire tweet deck. We don't need to look at the entire tweet deck. We just want to look at this graphic because this is our most recent severe thunderstorm watch that he was just talking about. It appears that the National Weather Service believes that there is at least still some tornado threat because there is that tornado possible tag. We can take a closer look at that when they finally update their archaic website in about 7 minutes. And hail of up to 2 inches and scattered wind gusts to 70 miles an hour. Now, the one thing that I'm going to mention about Texas, which is slightly concerning, is how interconnected their power grid is and how a majority of their power comes from power stations in or near Dallas. So if we see a significant thunderstorm go through this area and knock out some major power lines, there could be widespread power outages even outside of areas that thunderstorm originally impacted. So this is definitely something to keep an eye on here even after we end stream, most likely in a couple of minutes. Or a couple of minutes. I'd say a couple, but it's more like probably 10 or 20. We probably want to sit here while this destructive severe thunderstorm warning goes through Tulsa, but we all have other things to do in life and other stuff to prep for.
Yep.
It doesn't seem like there's going to be much chasing after this system for a good week or two.
Yeah, at least. I wonder. We can take a quick look at the GFS because our it's finally done running. So what we are going to start with looking at here is the 500 millibar wet stream, the jet stream. So now what this is this is where we are looking for troughs. Those aren't troughs, that's height anomaly. There we go. Why does this look weird? Because I'm in the wrong spot. That's why it looks weird.
Just so you know, your stream's all messed up. If you look at No More Chasers and Caleb's looking at OBS.
We don't need no OBS.
See No More Chasers.
Yeah, my box is OBS.
There we go. There we go. I have to put OBS in the same spot as your window because I have no other room for windows. But now Caleb's back. Yeah.
I mean, I don't care if you want to just show OBS, but I was just saying.
Nah, that's actually one of the 2 OBS programs because I'm using both Streamlabs and OBS Studio. I'm streaming off OBS Studio, and then Streamlabs is providing the chaser feeds. But let's go ahead and take a look at the future. We can see this system move off here to the west and form what we like to call the Death Ridge. Now, what this means is anywhere in here where it's white or there's no wind at all, it's going to be really hot. Temperatures well above average. It's not going to feel like fall. It is going to feel like summer, and it's going to feel like a really, really warm summer at that. But we'll keep dragging this out further here, and we can see we have our next little system kind of randomly and spontaneously showing up right here. Now, I do expect to see this change over the next couple of days because this is a weather model, and what that means is when you get any further out than a couple of days, it's really inaccurate and they don't know what's going to happen. But nevertheless, it is important to look at every single model run because you can kind of look at trends. And when you see an event sort of trend like this, so if we see this trough here continue to be here over the next couple of days, that's a really good sign that there is going to be some kind of severe system. Also, the one thing I want to note is the Pacific is doing the funny. This down here, we see this little ball of increased wind speed. This is a hurricane. So we'll see what that does. We might as well go here and drag this slider even further out to see what's going to happen. It looks like that hurricane there really quickly dissipates, and we have another ridge set up in the east, which would block any potential severe weather for the next coming days after that. Hunter, do you have anything to add to this? Because I know you like to look at models just as much as I do.
No, not really. I usually don't tend to look at the GFS more than 250 hours out, but that little system that goes to Mexico, I think that's a little amusing.
Yeah, and I believe that the National Hurricane Center has actually noted the potential for this system.
Oh, it's already named.
Yeah, it's already named.
Lydia.
This is Tropical Storm Lydia out here in the Pacific.
Oh, damn, there's...
Just a heads up, we just had a new destructive come through.
All right, well, I'm going to go throw this up here then, and we'll take a look at that. Was that another destructive? And yep, it looks like it was a destructive for inside of the severe thunderstorm warning we already have issued. This is still 80-mile-an-hour wind, so what I believe is going on here is the majority of the southern portion of this destructive severe thunderstorm warning is no longer seeing these strong winds, so I would believe that this warning will be allowed to expire and or be canceled pretty soon. But up here in the northern region, we still have crazy wind speeds, and we can see that on radar right here, this area of pink and purple. And this is actually, we're so close to the radar here that this is most likely at or very close to what is occurring on the ground. So these are wind speeds in excess of 80 miles an hour. So take these seriously if you're in this area. Tornado sirens are going off, and that is because this storm will be just as strong, if not stronger, than a tornado. And this is, it looks, what was that?
I just wanted to let you know that somebody just reported a tornado.
Yeah, I saw that. Christopher King.
Near Texas.
Yes.
Texas.
What does it say? Small EF0 tornado lasted 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes as a frontal boundary hit. No rain, no hail. Wind change from south to north at 35 miles an hour.
So,
Chris and I saw that at the same time.
yeah, I can't see that tornado report, but I don't even really want to see it. What I'm going to assume that happened is there was most likely some low clouds and a weird wind shift, and that got reported as a tornado. Unfortunately, there is a lot of false reports, people thinking there's tornadoes when there is not tornadoes, so I would almost guarantee that's what we have going on here. However, if we see a picture proof of that or anything, we'll change our opinions on that, but for now, that's what I'm going to stick with until something tells us otherwise.
I agree, a good old-fashioned Scudnado.
Yep. But I think as far as severe threat goes, it's mostly going to be this storm up here in Oklahoma for at least the time being. Because it's windy up here, boys. If you're in this area, you've probably gone outside. You're like, damn, it's windy. Yeah, you shouldn't be outside. You should be inside in your basement or an interior room, perhaps a bathroom, or as Ryan Hall once famously said, your garage. Now, he just said that by mistake. Don't actually go in your garage. That's a terrible idea, but it was a funny clip nonetheless.
I will add on real quick that if my information is right, the Texas State Fair is currently ongoing, and we do have that line approaching the Dallas Metro, and you have that what appears to be an outflow banner. I think I need to get my spotter dots off.
Yeah, it's an outflow
Approaching
boundary.
that area. There's so many spotters there that I can hardly even see the boundary.
And what this means, guys, is this outflow boundary ahead of these storms. This will be a strong wind gust, perhaps even above severe limits. And because of the nature of an outflow boundary, there's not going to be a large amount of precip associated with that. So you might have a severe thunderstorm warning for the wind speeds associated with that, and you're going to be like, well, what the heck? It's not even raining. It doesn't need to be raining for there to be wind gusts greater than the need for a severe thunderstorm warning. Came from Ryan Scholl's stream. Oh, is Ryan promoting us? That's amazing. Guys, if you are coming in from Ryan's stream, make sure to subscribe to this channel and like this, because we want to sort of partner with Ryan here in the near future and hopefully grow both of our channels together. Is Ryan in here? Is he in our chat? Is he Ryan? Is Ryan in our
chatting
walls?
Earlier.
Ryan might be in our walls right now, guys. Hey, speaking of subscribers, I just took a peek at my subscriber count, and we are very close to our next mile mark of 3,000 subscribers. We're actually only 9 subscribers away from 3,000, so hopefully we can hit that before we end stream here today. Only 9 subscribers. I'm sure plenty of you know 9 people. You should be like, hey, go subscribe to this weird kid who talks about pizza rolls. Oh, now someone's being funny and I'm subscribing.
No, that was me by accident. I'm sorry. I'm trying to share. I'm trying to share your link to Twitter.
Texas State Fair is closed tonight. That's really good. Yeah, that's a good thing. That would be a very bad situation if we saw a strong, severe thunderstorm go through that area. Oh, someone else unsubscribed. Are we gonna have a little iShow speed moment here? And
That was me.
That was you. Oh,
Yeah,
now even more people are doing it. Now, all right. If you think you're funny, and unsubscribing and resubscribing, you're actually not funny. Like I'm not sure if you guys have seen the famous clip of iShow Speed, but he was about to hit 8 million subscribers, and he was live streaming it, hyping it all up, and about
100,000 people unsubscribed.
Yeah, 100,000 people unsubscribed right before he hit that mile marker.
It's so funny.
It was.
No.
I feel like we could show that on stream just because it's iShow Speed, but we're not going to.
Now, Riley, if we want to talk about forecasting the ECMWF model, if you look at the 500 millibar height anomalies, it does show a signal at the 192 hour. And it's visible on Weatherbell, actually.
The 192 hour.
Here, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, I have to go a couple runs out. Yep, there we go. We got it. Right here. Right? Shamir. Wow,
Would be the beginning of a signal for another severe weather event.
Yeah, that's also a really funny looking model run. It kind of looks like a certain piece of male genitalia, but
Oh my God.
Riley, no.
Hey, I am a 19-year-old at heart, and I laugh at 19-year-old jokes, and everyone is here for it.
That's not even what I was looking at here. I'll send you on what I was looking at on Discord.
All
You
right.
should go back to your subscriber count. You're probably almost there.
Yeah, I have it. We're 3 away from 3,000. Is there a way to get to know the members on
God.
Discord? You can get to know us here because it seems like we're gonna continue to have,
Riley Dibble podcast.
yeah, Riley Dibble podcast. Also, if you become a member to the Ryan Hall channel, that unlocks the member lobby, and Ryan does occasionally talk there. Hey guys, we're 1 subscriber away.
I don't even get to see the member lobby in the Ryan Hall.
Posted
Discord.
you on the Stormquest
Big
Twitter.
deal.
On Stormquest, we're 1 subscriber away. I bet, and it would honestly be really funny that like before we hit 3,000, we're gonna have like 15 people unsubscribe, and then right as we get up close to it, everyone's gonna subscribe again. And if you guys aren't familiar with what Stormcrest is, that is a group of individuals operated by Hunter. They are a group of storm chasers, and they are all really great people, and I know quite a few of them. And the group, just overall, the group is really fun to interact with. I'm not formally a part of it, but I know a lot of the people in it, and they're a very enjoyable group of people. Hey, we hit it right there. 3,000 subscribers. We hit 3,000 subscribers at the exact same time we hit 3 hours of uptime on the stream. That might be the craziest coincidence I've ever seen in my life.
Dang.
Yeah, and in case you think I'm joking here, I'll pull my YouTube studio up over here, and you can see it right there. Well, of course, it's been a minute now, so it's no longer at that, but right there, live, 3 hours and 1 minute.
You know,
Yeah.
there's actually been big milestones for pretty much every channel that I'm a part of this week. Your channel hit 3K. The extra channel hit 600,000 subscribers on Tuesday. Everyone is just reaching milestones.
Well, shoot, maybe I should bring you to be a part of my channel then.
Yeah. He's like, hey. Yeah, guys, if you haven't subscribed to Hunter's channel, you should do that. Hunter, do you want to send a link in chat to your YouTube channel? Subscribe to Hunter, guys. He's a great person. And a great storm chaser.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. We got the Kool-Aid man.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to draw a tornado up here in the slot where we don't have a storm chaser because no one's chasing. And then we can say we got a tornado on stream today.
Oh, gosh.
Wow, look at that. That's a beautiful tornado.
Well, I mean, apparently, according to the guy in Texas, he just got an AF0, so.
EF, no.
That's pre-rating, I'm just saying.
Yeah, we don't condone pre-rating around here. Come on now.
Let me just tell you though, Texas only has one more severe thunderstorm warning for the entire state.
I guess, what time does that expire?
In 42 minutes.
42 minutes. All right, so we're probably not going to stick around. Well, we allow that to expire. We are unfortunately wrapping things up here because there's still things to do tonight as far as my life outside of weather goes.
What? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know, guys. I know. Having a life, it's pretty lame.
Unacceptable, Riley.
Is there any final topics we want to talk about then on the Mr.Dibble podcast?
Yeah, do we have any last questions here, Proctor?
Yeah, let's open it up to the chat for the last couple of questions.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of the question asking here, so
yeah,
we'll wait a
Ryan,
couple seconds.
Ryan also hit 2,500 subscribers today as well.
That's
Congratulations, Ryan.
perfect. Everyone's hitting milestones.
I'm confident
how many
by
am I
the
at?
end of this weekend, I will have broke 1,000 subscribers because I've been steadily gaining for the last 24 hours. And there was some shout outs that some people did on Twitter for me. I think I will be the next person to break my milestone.
Hunter, one question from a member of StormQuest. They want to talk about deer. So why
I saw
don't
that, James?
Why don't we talk about deer and what deer do to the front end of a Ford Taurus?
Oh, that was such a funny storm chase as well. Oh goodness.
Yeah, you got to
Yeah,
walk
For-
everyone through the
for-
story now. Come on, don't leave us
For those of
hanging.
you who don't know what happened, actually I was supposed to chase up in Nebraska that day with Ryan, but I saw the MCD go out of them upgrading the southern risk to a moderate. I was with my friend Haley at the time, so her and I decided to go down to Oklahoma. And this was when I believe it was Andy streaming that day. So, oh goodness, I can actually pull up the maps and sort of visualize where we were at. We were outside of Buffalo, Oklahoma. We had just turned onto a service road and was trying to get up the speed, running from that intense MCS. And I mean, this massive buck decided to run right out in front of me. And the car damage supposedly wasn't even that bad, but it had bent the frame, so my insurance totaled it.
And that's sad too, because that was really a legendary chasing vehicle.
It's
Hey,
not as legendary.
Caleb, what year is your Taurus?
A 2015. Do you want it?
Yeah, so it was mine.
No, literally,
you
he's being serious when he says, "Do you want his Taurus?"
Do you want to buy my Taurus? I will sell it to you fully outfitted with streaming equipment inside. Minus my Starlink, because I'm pretty sure Riley used my Starlink as a test subject to cut open the one that he put on top of the Suburban.
Actually, we didn't use yours as a test subject. We just went right for it and cut Ryan's brand new Starlink open. I asked him if we wanted to use his as a test subject. He's like, "No, I just cut mine apart."
Yeah, because mine's. I don't even know where mine is now. It broke. It died.
Yours,
but you can have everything else.
Your Starlink is on the tallest shelf to the left of Austin's desk in the garage, tucked back in the corner. You need to be at least 6 foot to be able to stand on the table and reach it.
Maybe it's just like magically fixed itself.
Yeah, I somehow doubt that. James, Caleb's Taurus is in fact openly available for purchase.
James is trying to get rid of his 4Runner right now, and he's looking for a new vehicle. So
yeah, my Taurus is for sale for $7,000. It comes with lights, sirens, a Blackmagic video switcher.
Yeah, how many miles we got? Ryan's looking for a new car as well, actually.
The car runs great. I just don't want it because I don't chase in that vehicle anymore, so it makes no sense to own an ex-cop car.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Ryan is actually looking for another vehicle currently.
Although mine's like right around the same mileage he has. However, my car runs significantly better, and it should probably get to at least 250,000 kilometers, unless Ryan Scholl buys it.
Yeah.
Per mile. If Ryan buys it, that vehicle's done in 2 months. He beats the crap out of his cars.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I have personally driven that vehicle, and I can attest to the fact that it's still an amazing vehicle to drive.
Yeah, I just broke 125,000 miles on it.
Mm-hmm. And
it runs like a dream.
It comes pre-installed with a Starlink mount.
Yeah, you just got to strap the Starlink dish, the cable, and the routers in there too. It's all wired too.
Mm-hmm. All you need is a dish.
System. I would leave the Zello radio in there for you too, so you could have the premium Zello radio, the laptop mount.
I think we just sold a car on this live stream. I'm gonna be completely honest with you.
Yeah, you have 2 people interested in the vehicle already.
Because here's the crazy thing is I could probably sell it and then still not have to buy a vehicle because I could just literally drive
the company truck,
my electric e-bike to and from.
Yeah, that's true. You're only like 2 minutes from the weather house in the apartment.
And I have an electric e-bike.
Mm-hmm.
Did you just say that you hope your car makes it? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I read that as I hope my car makes it 600K, like 600,000 miles. So there's no way.
There's no way.
Your car is making it another 10,000 miles.
No, I had responded to him earlier on Twitter saying if his car hits 150,000 miles, I will personally buy him his next chase rig.
It's gonna be like a Fisher Price little tiny car, but he'll
buy
it for you.
Don't make fun of Echo's toys, man. All right, is there anything else we need to cover before we wrap this up. Were there any questions in chat? When will the EF0 tornado hit your house? Ryan, your house has already been slapped. Favorite sports teams? My favorite sports teams are probably the Minnesota Twins for baseball, the Green Bay Packers for football, and then
Also, all the bad teams.
no, we're gonna get a little more interesting here and talk about F1 because I love F1
Here we go.
and I
Here
love
we go
the
again.
Red Bull F1 team. Max
Here we
Verstappen,
Here we go.
love him.
This dude on
Right.
Snapchat all freaking day. And
They're all
I
sick
tell
of
you
my
what, that's
F1.
far. Oh, hey Riley, I got one more question. That tornado that's under the breaking weather banner. What tornado is that? What's that from?
On my thumbnail.
No. Under the breaking weather banner, the above no more chasers, frowny face. What tornado? What date is that from?
I'm so confused.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I think Riley might like F1 more than he likes Amber.
No, hold on, Riley. Here, I'll send
No.
it to you on Discord.
No chance. Oh, that tornado, that is the EF0 that occurred today. He's talking about
Just
this
outside of
tornado,
Dallas.
guys, up here. Yeah, this was the tornado that occurred outside of Dallas.
Oh.
Looks like a turd.
It does. It don't look anything like a tornado.
Yeah,
That's
no.
awesome.
Bro, Amber, I literally said you are my favoriteest person in the entire world. Don't be giving... Now I'm going to end the stream. I'm going to be in trouble. Thanks, Caleb. No, I'm kidding. I won't be in trouble.
You guys will just go. You'll go over to her house, and then you'll just turn on F1, and she'll be all sad.
Yeah, I tried that once. Actually, we have successfully gotten her dad into F1, so that is a very important achievement in my life. Alright, with that being said, unfortunately, it is time to start wrapping things up here. So, you know how it goes. We have to pull up Crab Rave, because that is how we end amazing streams here, is with Crab Rave.
Mm-hmm.
So now I just have to find my Crab Rave video. Here we go. Pop it in place here. Switch to the outro scene. Apparently all my cropping is messed up, so I have to fix that because I don't want to have a poorly cropped video for you guys.
Yeah, the last thing you want is poorly cropped Crab Rave.
We have to have just only the most premium Crab Rave around here. Alright, here we go, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and I will see you in my next video or my next live stream. Thank you guys so much for 3,000 subscribers. And without further ado, Crab Rave.